Well, there's some funkiness for you.
I like that.
Kind of reminds me of a song I used to roller skate to at Goslin Roller Dome in Hammond, Indiana. You know, back in the days when you learned not to fall because that was only a rubber-coated cement floor you were skating on. So there was only about an inch of it that was going to give any cushion. And so, you know, I fell a few times, man. Let me tell you, when you fall down on that concrete, you know, you learn to jump over people that fall down in front of you.
Yeah, right.
And there was this song very similar to that they used to play, and basically when the fast boogie song, when they started playing that, that's when we knew to hit the hallway, nail down the hallway really fast, and whip out the door right by the curve and hit the curve. And we could normally get away with doing that maybe twice, and then we get yelled at and get told to stop. Because there's people literally got wheeled out and taken to the hospital from doing the exact same thing that we used to do. But you see, we were young, we were smaller, we could do it and get away with it. Grown adults were trying to do that, and instead of going out the door, he hit the brick door frame, because, you know, there was a 4-foot wide entry onto the rink right where the curve started, and it was perfect for banking that curve. And sometimes you bank that curve, there'd be someone that would just fall down right in front of you, and then you literally would have I would jump over them and land.
And you never wore helmets back then either, right?
No
one wore helmets back then.
No.
Yeah.
People barely wore elbow pads and knee pads for BMX stuff. There was a pad on the bar in the center and a pad on your handlebars right there, so you can bust your teeth out.
Yeah, I always used to wear like gloves and shin pads. Well, because I used to BMX bike a little bit, and they had a thing called like the bear claws, which were the pedals, and they had like really sharp edges, so you could use your normal tennis shoes, but it gave you really good grip. But those things would shred your shins, you know. So you had to wear like shin guards for that, almost like soccer shin guards. But that was it, man. I never wore a helmet. Maybe that explains a lot. Or like knee pads or shoulder pads or you know, anything like that. Elbow pads.
Yeah,
Not back
it's
then.
Either.
no. Now, when I was right around, I would say I was probably 8, 7 going on 8. That's when the Diamondback bikes were getting popular. That's when they started coming out with those. The 4-spoked mag wheels, you know. Some had 6, some had 4. They were the composite wheels.
Yeah.
Well, if you couldn't afford that, you got the triple heavy duty rims. And then you got the triple heavy duty tubes and the knobbies and the liner that went in your knobbies. And I built a bike because hey brother, how you doing? Hail to the chat. And so basically, I took an old 20-inch Schwinn banana seat bike, and you know, I got rid of the seat, and my dad took it to a welder, and he had the guy weld every weak spot on the frame.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then he grounded it down. He sandblasted the frame, and then we primed it, and you know, you see my favorite color blue in the shirt right there in my icon, and that's the color my bike was. And got some different forks for it. Got a handlebar set for it. Oakley grips. You know, Oakley nice. They had the side pieces that protect the end of your hand, and that's about as much protection as most people got with a bike. You know.
Yeah.
Me, I was trying to jump the biggest, tallest ramp on the longest hill and steepest hill sometimes.
Man, if you wore a helmet on a bicycle, people thought you were a pussy.
Oh man, yeah, back then.
Oh, no. We're talking 78, 77.
Oh, up through the early to mid 90s
for me.
But yeah, you see those diamond bikes, those diamond shaped frames, man, were brand new. And so my frame, it was not a light frame. It was not light. And I got used to it, and I could do so much with that frame. I jumped 20-foot long and 10 feet high ramps on a hill that was a 20-foot long hill, probably with a 90-degree down angle. And I would jump stuff like that. But when we first built that bike, we didn't put the heavy extra duty rims. And I ovaled 2 sets of rims from jumping ramps, getting probably 15, 20 foot of air and then landing. And my dad was like, "What are you doing?" And I kind of looked at my dad and almost laughed. And I'm like, "You know what I'm doing." You see, it's like I would on a daily or every other day basis, I would come home with either skinned off my shoulders or my knees. And
that's how
basically
toughed you up back then.
Yeah, I tried to break that frame. I tried so hard the frame would not break. Because I've seen people break frames. You know the 2 sidebars on those old-fashioned bikes? Mm-hmm. They would break those all the time. They'd break off. And everything on that bike was reinforced, weld-wise. And after the 2 sets of rims that were oval, you know, I got the triple heavy-duty rims. And the liner and all that knobbies helps you from popping tires when you land.
Did you ever add pegs on your bike? On the tires?
Man, pegs weren't really in fad then.
Oh, okay.
Pegs didn't come till later.
Yeah, pegs are more like wire, I guess.
Freestyling it and
racing. And now when I was 10 years old, that was huge. The pegs were starting to become huge in California. Yeah. Because when I was 10, I lived in California. And, you know, all the hacky sack, the handball games that were going on. And there was all kinds of things there that wasn't going on out east, but they were happening out west. It's like Vans was a huge thing, but out east, nobody had ever seen them. And so when I came back from out west, the black guys in Hammond, the black kids were like, "Wow, where'd you get those shoes? Those shoes look so cool." Because I had red and black checkered Vans. Oh, and they're like, "Man, we want a pair of those." I go, "They'll be here soon." These are popular out in California. I go,
that kind of stuff really got popular here first before it made it to the East Coast.
Vans, I hear, collect a lot of fuzz. You get a lot of fuzz and stuff that collects on them.
Are you cracked 2 mongoose frames? Well, that Schwinn frame that I had, hey, Toxic Manflu, that Schwinn frame that was reinforced, I jumped the tallest ramps with the most air and landing and rolling, and that frame would not break.
Yeah, it was heavy duty. Well, you had it personally welded too, right?
Yeah, every connection on that bike that had a weld, it was all reinforced.
Yeah.
My dad took it to a weld shop, and they reinforced every weld on that bike. They sanded it down, and then they did the final sandblast, so that way we wouldn't have to do any hard work. Just prime it and paint it.
Wow.
Hey, CJ, how you doing?
What's up, CJ?
Hey, CJ.
So yeah, that's pretty much that was basically your Schwinn banana bike. I converted to basically a BMX bike, and it worked really well.
It's probably what they started out as, right?
Yeah, and that before diamond frames came along, you know, you had to make your own stuff, reinforce stuff, go to weld shop. Some people took those 2 bars off and did a double weld on there to hold them together. Bike making shops have been doing stuff like that for BMX stuff for years before BMX was even a thing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah, I was watching this documentary on how skateboarding kind of really took off in the 70s, and it was all because there was this stupid drought and all the surfers got kicked out of the beach, and so they started, and instead of surfing, they just started really skateboarding in all these abandoned pools because the drought was happening.
Really?
And that was that was how it got started.
Huh. I think rollerblading started out west too, I believe, in Cali.
Oh man, I've tried rollerblading and I'd almost practically snapped my ankles rollerblading those things. I don't know how people.
You didn't bust your balls, did you, when those frame broke? Did you? Because normally that's what happened when your frame break, man. It's a good thing a pad is there because oh man, it's gonna frickin' hurt.
Good thing a seat there. Oh.
Well, frame breaks. You're on the pedal standing up. Guess where you're going? Ouch. Because especially if the frame breaks right around the crank, oh man, that's what you call special kind of fucked.
I had so many ball busted moments on bikes, I can't even name them all.
Oh yeah.
So you could imagine that's the reason why my dad wanted all the welds touched up and all that.
So Wookiee Supremacy's got it. Lords of Dogtown, that was what it was. Thank you, Wookiee Supremacy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a documentary. It was really good.
Didn't that take place out in like Indio, California, which is kind of where they have? Is that where? What's the big festival every year that everyone goes to now? Not Burning Man. Damn, what's the big music festival out here? I think the Lords of Dogtown. I think that was.
Shit, it's not Burning Man. I thought it was in Nevada.
Yeah, Burning Man's in Nevada.
I think you're thinking of shit. I know it. Coachella.
Coachella. Yeah, that's outside of Indio, which I think is in Lords of Dogtown. I think that's Indio, California.
Hey, I was in California when when the flowers bloom in Marin County. When all the flowers are in bloom, and that's right around July 26th. And I happened to be in Marin, and every flower just happened to be in bloom. I'm talking every single one of them. There was not a flower that was not frickin' blooming. I am telling you, I never seen so many frickin' flowers in my life. And we just got off of, I think it was the Other Ones tour in 98. And so after that, we were just hanging out in some of the festivals in the Shoreline area. And talk about some beautiful art festivals. There was all kinds of different types of music, jazz. There was some Caribbean music too. Really amazing. A lot of artwork. I guess you could say it was sort of like an art walk.
Oh yeah.
But I don't remember the name of the festival. But it seemed like every town nearby, they were having a festival, and they were practically blending together in all the little areas that blend together over there. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very cool. And that was the first time that I had been in Marin as an adult. Yeah, and I swear to God, every flower was blooming. Pretty awesome stuff.
It's pretty cold there. It doesn't. Yeah, you don't really get a lot of.
Oh man,
a pretty narrow window.
At nighttime, in July we were there. We were at the Shoreline Amphitheater. We caught the last show on the tour. And at night, man, I had to wear my Ecuadorian sweater. It got cold. At night, as soon as the sun go down, the wind comes in. Ooh, it's cold. It is not summer like time warmness. No, it's cold. You are not kidding.
Yep. Yeah, Marin County's right there across the bay from San Francisco.
And you know the parts of Highway 1 there in Shoreline, just a little south of Shoreline, that used to be there? Mm-hmm. It's not there no more. It's gone. But before they took it out, I got to drive up it. Before it was, there's not a lot of Highway 1 there anymore. And I got to drive up Highway 1. We stopped at a couple beaches. And my God, the sand there, it's so soft. The first beach we stopped at was right off of Highway 1. And maybe about 30 minutes south of Shoreline. And the sand, it was so soft. When I stepped in it, I fell down.
Wow. Somebody drawn like on a dry erase board or something? What the heck is that?
Oh, that could be the bike. My wife is on an exercise bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're hearing the spin of the wheel?
Probably, yep.
Oh, all right.
And Wes,
I thought that maybe you're stenciling out and you're getting ready to tattoo the facts on your, on your chest and, on your arm. John G. or James G.
I'd be making my my Star Wars wish list. Dinosaurs and actual endings and
diversity.
Yeah, diversity.
Don't forget to put it twice.
Oh, so I guess Lords of Dogtown was Venice. I guess that makes more sense if it was a bunch of surfers. There's really no surfers in Indio. Indio's more in the desert. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I thought some big movement took place in Indio, California, but Lords of Dogtown was Venice area.
Yep. I don't know much about SoCal. I know I love the weather down there most of the time. Except for that goddamn June gloom in San Diego. Ugh.
Yeah, it's well, San Diego I think it's a little more humid. But it's pretty good. Like right now, well, I mean, I'm in the desert, but right now it's 68 degrees, which is pretty perfect.
That is
perfect for me. It's perfect.
June 13th.
Some people it's cold, but
well, the weather around here is pretty during the summer times leading up to the summer. They tend to be fairly moderate, between 55 and 69, 70 degrees.
Yeah.
It just recently started getting up in the 80s here and there.
Just now getting into the 80s? Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
We've already had like several over 100-degree days here. It was miserable. I feel like I've been living on the Genesis planet. We had like 300 over 100-degree weather days, and then it sunk down into like the 80s after that, and the 70s and the 80s, and then we had this weird rainstorm. Like, make up your mind.
Yeah, I hate it when it does that because, I got my left knee and my right knee. They'll start ringing like a bell. It's like, will you make your mind up? Rain? Sunshine? Pick one. Do it. Not both.
Yeah, and then we still have these stupid restricted hours on the gym, so I can't go late at night. Sometimes I'll wait for it to cool off and do an outdoor workout, but it's still hot out, and then the gym is closed down. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, now they're talking about wave 2. They're saying, California, Minnesota or Minneapolis, and I guess New York City, I think it's specifically the city, are all having high increased cases of the
I wonder why. There's an election coming.
I know it's
Yeah,
just
I wonder why.
Those three cities.
Maybe
too,
they want to get an election postponed.
That's a very valid thought.
How transparent can they be?
Yeah.
I say, you know what? I call foul. Foul on the play. Football terminology. Come on, help me out here.
Foul.
I don't know football.
Flag on
holding.
The play. Flag.
Holding on the play. Flag thrown in.
Traveling? Is traveling a thing in football?
No.
Well, if we cross football with basketball, then yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember, it's Bizarro World.
What's that movie that they it was the guys from South Park Basketball? They crossed basketball with baseball. You ever see that Basketball?
What's the one with Adam
they use
Sandler?
A basketball for baseball.
The one where he uses a hockey stick to play golf.
Oh, the Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, there you go. I think that was the only good movie he ever made, right?
Oh no, Billy Madison. I like the Sandler
funny
movies.
ones.
Yeah, I like.
I like some of them too.
Actually, I just saw. If you haven't seen his newest one, well, he's got two newer ones, but the Uncut Gems, pretty good movie. It's not a silly comedy, It's not one of his typical movies. He plays more of a dark kind of comedy role, and it's pretty good. He does a good job in it, and I liked it.
He's trying to do like a Jim Carrey, a cable guy type thing.
Yeah, well, he's done that before. He did a movie called Punch Drunk Love. There was a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and that was really good. That was a more of a serious kind of role. If you don't know Paul Thomas Anderson, he's the director who did Boogie Nights and Magnolia, which are both really good movies. But they're they're definitely more dramatic. So he does well when he's in when he has the right director in a role like that. Sandler can pull it off. But then he also has kind of his typical sort of movies, which are a hit or miss. Yeah, Little Nicky, I agree with Wookie. I like Little Nicky too. I liked his most of his old school movies. I like, and then some of the newer ones.
To check it out. So yeah, I was watching this documentary today, and it really bummed me out. Okay, so I've been very upset about what's been happening in the world lately. So I thought, why don't I watch something that has a happy ending? And I didn't know what had happened with this guy. So this guy in New York City got arrested wrongfully. He was innocent, and apparently there's a loophole where he couldn't have a speedy trial. So he got arrested for allegedly stealing somebody's backpack. Well, he ended up spending 3 fucking years in jail. 3 years in jail for a backpack.
Wow.
And apparently what happened in New York is they had a loophole where if the DA says they're not ready for the trial, that doesn't start the clock on your speedy trial. So they said, we're not ready. And so when the courts would go out of session, because they do that, it delayed him like 3 months. And they kept doing that and kept doing that. Meanwhile, he's in jail. The cops don't care if you're innocent or guilty, so he was saying, "I'm innocent, man," and they thought he was being defiant, and they were beating him up and putting him in solitary confinement and all this stuff. So I was like, "Wow, that's really fucked up." And he gets out, right? He gets out.
Yeah.
He gets out, and I'm like, "Oh, thank God, this is the happy ending." They sue the city apologizes, and they win, a multi-million-dollar settlement, and he's off in the Virgin Islands sipping, pina coladas or whatever, right? That's what happened, right? Mm-hmm. Nope, not what happened. People in his shitty neighborhood thought he got a big settlement while the lawsuit was still in process. Somebody shot him and robbed him. He got depressed and hung himself to death. And then his mother had a heart attack and died. I was like, what the fuck, man? I just watched this for 5 episodes of this stuff, hoping for a happy ending, and then none of the corruption got addressed.
Wow.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
You should have read a review.
Yeah, I didn't want to spoil it, but anyway, so it got me thinking.
Terrible story.
It is terrible. It got me thinking, and And so the DA was a black dude, right? And so it was a heavily Democratic city. It was New York City. And it's just like, so they pay the lip service, but all, you know, it's the case I've been making on my channel for a long time about what's going on. And it's just like they'll pay the lip service to diversity and all this other stuff. But ultimately, they just want, like, we need a black guy in there that'll be the DA and that'll do this prosecuting and will be fine with oppressing people. And they do, and they find the guy, and he says all the right stuff. And yet, you know, I mean, overwhelmingly, you know, black people still vote for Democrats. And it's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you notice the image
And
there?
that happens in most Democratic cities. Anyway, yeah, that's it's pretty funny.
That's in the chat. Thank you, Christy, for sharing that.
I like all like the little icons of poop she added.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Well, you can. What does it
I
say?
just now noticed that.
Where you can fill the
Tyler
room
Mango.
from. I can't read what that says. Where you can fill on the bottom right of the door, it says where you can fill the room with. I can't tell what that last word is. It's too blurry. That's hilarious, Christy.
Yep.
What's up, Tyler?
Yeah.
Looks like she found that on Twitter.
I think someone made that. Someone made that after the stream. That's pretty good.
So Tyler, is that Mongo
Who
or
posted that
Mango?
originally?
Say again.
Oh,
Who
I was asking
posted that?
Tyler.
Oh no, go ahead.
Mongo?
Mango, where you can fill the rim with brim.
Steven.
Christy found it.
I don't think you're going to live this down at this point. It's this is becoming like this was the same thing that happened in Drunk and John Talks with the dildo conversation. It just grew beyond their control. Took a life of its own, and the chat just carried it from stream to stream, and it
Metamorphosized.
yeah, transferred over to the Twitter, and metamorphosized.
Like bees pollinating flowers.
Mm-hmm. Just couldn't contain it. Yeah, that's messed up, Sentinel.
Well, Sentinel, if you want to talk about another really depressing documentary, watch Divorce Corp. C-O-R-P. Divorce Corp. Holy crap, man. You want to talk about corruption in that judicial system. Anyway.
Divorce Court?
Corp. Yeah, C-O-R-P. Yeah. I watched it. It was funny because my brother was going through a divorce at the time, and his divorce was taking like 3 years. I was like, man, why is your divorce taking so long?
What did he say? What happened? What was the?
He never told me. I just like speculated that maybe my sister-in-law wanted to hold on, try and save things. I have no idea. No idea. Especially after he talked about how much he hated her guts. I was like, God damn, man. 3 years? Get out of there.
Yeah. It's like torture. You're torturing yourself.
I found a whole thread on that. Lightning.
On the lighting?
Yeah.
Oh, let's bring that up. Talking about other things that oddly happened.
There's a still.
Look at this.
Check
so when
that
did
out right
how many
there.
days ago was this now? This is June 11th.
Well, it started showing up on the 4th.
Oh, okay, on the 4th.
People put their images up on the 4th and the videos up on the 4th on Twitter. Of this one here is from June 1st. So it's probably a little bit before that. This one's June 6th.
It's interesting how it goes down, curves up, and then curves back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you got Sammy L. Jackson commenting on it.
What did he say?
Where's that lightning bolt?
What? He didn't say, where's that motherfucking lightning bolt hitting that motherfucking monument?
Yeah, because look how large right in there, man. That's just crazy.
I know, it's huge. Like that whole whatever that's on the side of that. I've never seen that before, ever.
Yeah, it's very strange.
You see how it's hitting in a triangle?
Yeah, the very top of the...
Hits the obelisk.
Yeah,
hits
shit.
forward of the obelisk, and then
Yeah, hit
closest
something
where
right in front of it.
right in front of where the bar is at.
Maybe the pyramids were, power plants.
Well, that's one of the theories, that they were harvesting energy from the Earth, or the Earth's magnetism, and creating as a power grid, basically. Look at all the satellites, all the major satellites in the space station, International Space Station. They go around the third parallel, and all of the pyramids are lined up to the different points in the sky, the constellations. So there's something with that. There's something, they somehow knew where to put these things. So I think there's probably something to the energy theory.
Have you noticed that the layout of DC Aerial is in the shape of an owl?
No, I've seen it in the shape of like a pentagram, though.
Yeah, pentagram and the compass and whatever the other thing is. The Masonic, the compass and the
the Masonic
edge
symbol.
Yeah.
Straight edge, a leveler or something.
Yeah, something like that. Right angle,
Right. Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing also with the Washington Monument and the Capitol building, they are a recreation of the Vatican, because the Vatican has the St. Peter's, the Basilia, the St. Peter's Dome, and then there's the courtyard out front, which has the obelisk, and that obelisk was actually brought in from Egypt. So that's an actual Egyptian obelisk that they put in St. Peter's Square, and it lines up right with the St. Peter's Basilica. How do you say it? Basilica. Yeah, that's it. Basilica, right. And so DC, when they created this, they created the obelisk, the Washington Monument, as the obelisk, and the Capitol building as the dome, or the basilica. Oh my God, I can't say the word. Basilica. So what that represents, basically, is in Egypt, when they did this, the monolith, the obelisk, was Osiris's phallic symbol, because in the ancient tale, he gets chopped up into hundreds of pieces, and they found all the pieces to put him back together except for his male genital. So that represents the male genital, and the dome represents the womb. So in essence, putting those together, you're symbolizing the impregnation of the dome that will give birth to Osiris coming back. Now you fast forward that to why would the Vatican have that as being the head of not in my opinion, but the head of, or the visual of Christianity for most of history. It's very weird. And then why does Washington D.C. mimic that? So there's a lot of occultic practices when you get into the layouts of these cities and some of the objects that they put in them.
Like that?
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's interesting too.
Oh yeah, I never really noticed it before. Interesting.
White House grounds, and then you got the Capitol.
It does have kind of an owlish shape if you look at it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is
hell of a thing.
Yeah, like where all the green is, because even on the outside of the outline, there's not a lot of green there. Yeah.
Trade. That's funny.
That's
Hey, Tommy.
interesting.
What's up, Tommy?
What's up, Tommy?
What? He found a... Where'd you find the Death Star emoji, Tommy? I was trying... I wasn't sure if you'd be able to show, so I tried to do my own... this is the best I could do. I came up with the list. I don't know.
Is it a Death Star or is it like the moon?
It looks like a Death Star. Close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah.
It looks like maybe the
That's
Earth
good,
and Meg or
Steven. That's cool. Oh, I just seen a link that Cuomo link that Steven put in the chat.
Oh, why am I missing these?
What link?
I don't see Steven's.
Oh, it's Cuomo basically being the news guy being dumb, and then a guy makes a video and goes, "Well, it's called the First Amendment."
Black Moon. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Oh,
and now don't forget about the worshippers of Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Now you look at the monument for where the two towers used to be. What are they?
The monument. Now it's the water.
Two squares with water in it.
Yeah,
right?
the water. Yeah, the water thing, waterfall type thing. The squares. Yeah.
Yep.
How does that relate to Saturn?
Cube worshippers, monolith worshippers. It's worshippers of Saturn.
I didn't know that was a.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's part of it.
It's actually the way I used to eat ramen too. Wow.
Wait, what? How?
Just like dry, so you sprinkle the powder crap and the flavor
it's
packet
like
on there.
Yeah.
And just eat it like a cake, and then I would get like some Tabasco or a Tapatio sauce and put that on there. Just crunch on it. It's a long time ago, folks. I don't do that anymore. Tasted good at the time, though.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised. A lot of these ancient, old, dark religions. Yeah.
Wow, even the nut, even right there. Wow, yeah, it's something. Toxic Man Flu says, "Does the panel give any credence that the call to put 6 patients back in nursing homes was intentional to make this last long enough to get rid of Orange Man so blue states can get bailouts?"
Yeah, I believe so.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I think a lot. I think a lot of this has to do with getting rid of the Orange Man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Whether it was
sure.
manufactured or used, that's a different different thing. But I mean, it was for sure it was used. Mm-hmm. They definitely took it as an opportunity to get him out. But yeah, I mean, what was Cuomo doing? He had the ship that was open and free. He had Central Park where they put up all these, makeshift centers, and he wasn't using any of them. And he was basically
that was Puritan's purse that they came in and they volunteered to put that all in there. And why did they need to have wipes and Huggies diapers in their storage sheds there?
That's interesting.
I was wondering that because I seen a lot of the news organizations that were tweeting on Twitter showing pictures of people bringing lots of boxes of diapers. Not the pens. These are for babies.
Right.
Huggies for kids and for babies. And so, were they bringing lots of children there? Because I kept hearing rumors and people talking about they're bringing children there. And you know that when they're doing stuff like that, if they're rescuing kids of some reason, that they wouldn't show it at all. They wouldn't allow people to take photographs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wish they just had enough to go public with this stuff. If it's happening, I wish they just have enough to go public with it. But I don't know. I guess they have their reasons.
So yeah, hopefully, just rip the Band-Aid off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Done with it. Because honestly, there's very few Hollywood actors right now that really I don't have any respect for. The ones putting out the PSAs and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Everyone's just trying to hang on to their careers and appease the powers that be now.
I actually think that looks more like an owl if you look at it upside down, if you flip it around.
But wouldn't that be like eyes are up top and then the tail?
The eye and the
tail
beak.
feather down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 wings. Yeah, I found another one that's got the areas to the left and right of it highlighted.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I mean, you could actually even extend those wings out.
Oh yeah, that it
even
does.
a little wider.
Put it in the chat. I got too many tabs open.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I got a bunch of these open too. Yep, I see where it's. Yeah, if you go down the 45 degrees, in between the tail feather, that actually looks more like it.
Right, you could even go further, extend that even further down. Yeah, very interesting.
Yep, very interesting. There's all kinds of stuff going on. That's for sure.
Oh, who's playing that?
Dua?
Oh,
it's
from Twitter.
I got a complete aerial view. Too bad these images weren't a little better. Because this is on DuckDuckGo what I'm finding.
Turn it upside down. Looks like Penny Pincher from Monopoly. Yeah, I can see that. Like a top hat. Hey, that fits too. With all the taxes they penny pinching from us. That's funny.
So what else we got here? Let's see here. So yeah, Seattle, man, it's crazy up here, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're like in the mix of things.
They're an hour north.
Yeah, there are people that are doing citizen journalism where people are talking about, they're interviewing people that live near the area, and they're saying, hey, man, you guys are reporting, the mainstream media is reporting this as a peaceful protest. It is anything but. There are people like telling the cops to kill themselves, and there are people going around, they're screaming and not screaming like protesting, but screaming like people getting, badly hurt screaming. And that it's really bad stuff, what's happening up there.
Yeah, well, when you start taking, you start building a wall up and claiming you're an autonomous zone and you're no longer part of the United States, I mean, is that considered peaceful protesting at that point? Yeah,
I
mean, I think you cross a line at that point where you're not really protesting anymore. You're trying to secede from the nation. I don't know.
Insanity.
Declaring an
It is,
autonomous
it's just-
zone, there's certain connotations that come with that.
Yeah,
You know.
like that's not really part. And
So, what is it? The Hell's
If-
Angels. What's the name of the other
Yeah.
biker gang?
Hell's Angels, I know they were on their way up there.
Yeah, but there's another one that they were
It's
bitter
like the
enemies with.
bikers for Trump. That was they were part of it.
Oh, what's the name of it? It's not the Banditos. It's another biker gang. They made a truce to go against Antifa.
And that I would like to see that.
They are on their way to Seattle.
Yeah, I wonder how long it'll
And
take them to ride up there.
Their motto is, if the governor of Washington State's not going to take care of it, they will.
They will.
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't
What
work
I've been
out
hearing.
too well at all.
I would be pretty nervous if I were someone up in Seattle that.
Well-
The Outlaws. Is that who you're thinking of?
Well, I tell you what,
There's
they
the
are
Banditos,
doing
the Outlaws, the
here we
Pagans,
go.
and Hell's Angels.
American
Those are the four.
bikers, American Patriot bikers. Here, I'll share it. I'll share the article.
Well, here's what I think they're doing. I think they're automatically banding the bikers for Trump along with the Hells Angels and the other biker gang. I think they're automatically doing that. I don't know for sure if it's completely accurate, if they are. But what I do know is on Twitter, I seen it, the Hells Angels and that other biker gang, they took care of some stuff and got together down south, and they're coming up to Seattle.
So they're driving from south. Where in the south?
I don't remember any exact details, but they said they're on their way. They were posting pictures of bikes driving,
Yep.
and basically these two guys. I don't remember the name of them. Damn it!
These people call themselves American Patriots.
Yeah, but it's the Mongols. There we go, the Mongols.
Oh, the
Thanks,
Mongols.
Tommy. It's the Hell's Angel, the Mongols. They made peace.
Excuse me, man. Do you know when the
Yeah.
Mongols ruled China? I don't know. I just work here. That's from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
So, man, what's the biggest, largest tumbleweed that you've seen?
Oh, I tried to catch it on. It was like the day after I was DMing you, and I was like, man, this is like Tumbleweed Town. And literally, we had a dust. We've gotten some pretty good dust storms, or not dust storms, but wind storms. And one afternoon, it was like probably 20-some-mile-per-hour winds. I think because I checked on the my phone, and this huge tumbleweed, like a literal tumbleweed, went flying across like it's like a dirt driveway. Went flying across the dirt driveway. And I was like, I can't believe how ironic that is, because I was just telling you, like, as a joke, we're in Tumbleweed Town, but we literally are.
It's since you've been in the desert, I've been asking you how's the desert and the tumbleweeds.
Yeah, it's actually tumbleweeds.
It's funny that I said that. He's like, you just seen one.
Yep, I had just seen one.
It was huge.
Yeah, it was giant. Yeah, we've seen coyotes like on the front yard, 20 feet away from us, just running around. We see bunnies and jackrabbits that, the bunnies actually come up pretty close to you. The jackrabbits, they're a little, I think they're a little smarter, so they try to get away quicker. But we've seen we saw a snake today. It was a pretty long, it wasn't a rattlesnake, but it was, pretty long, pretty big desert snake. And the desert mice. Yeah, I know. Yeah. We were thankfully we were in the car, so we were just driving by it. It was like it was trying to cross the road, and then stopped and went back the other way inside.
Don't they have copperheads over there in the desert?
I think they do. Yeah.
Yeah, those are poisonous.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yep. But yeah, it's crazy. A lot of wildlife, hummingbirds and giant wasps.
Should be some sidewinders in that area.
Desert iguana. Yeah.
I like coyotes.
What's
Coyotes are cool.
Yeah, coyotes. Yeah, we've seen quite a few. Coyotes.
They usually don't bother people. They usually just
they usually don't. Yeah.
It's kind of really
unless they're trying to
dogs.
protect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the coyotes are scarce, something's up.
Yeah.
Because coyotes ain't really much scared of nothing.
No, but I guess they kind of take their cues from you. So, they kind of will react to how you act to them. So if you see one, you're not supposed to run away because that shows like you're scared.
Oh, exactly.
You're supposed to kind of stand your ground. Even like make noise, yell at it. If it doesn't like run away, if it's like kind of staring you down, you're supposed to kind of intimidate it, so it knows that like you're not scared, and they'll take their cue from you and kind of back away.
Yep, most of the time.
Yeah, it's a general rule when it comes to wildlife: stop, don't move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And when it comes to buck and full rut season, don't breathe.
Well, when you get
I know from
coyotes
experience.
in packs, that's when you have to be concerned. But if you see them, one at a time, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I guess if they're in packs, if they have their, I don't know what you call them, not cubs, but their babies around, then they'll be a little more protective.
Well, they've got the weirdest looking tails, coyotes.
Oh yeah.
Big old fluffy fucking tail.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, coyote's a trickster. The coyote's around a lot, yipping and all that. Something's going to happen.
Yep.
If they're around a lot?
Coyotes, when they're around a lot, normally what it means is something funny is going to happen or something not funny going to happen. It go either way.
What about if there's a lot of bunnies around?
Yeah, coyotes love bunnies.
Do you really want to know about that?
I don't know.
Just don't keep a rabbit's foot over your bed, okay?
No, they're still alive.
You don't want lots of kids, do you? Don't put a bunny's or rabbit foot over your bed.
Oh boy, we've been seeing a lot of bunnies. They come right up to you too.
Probably used to humans feeding them.
Yeah, probably.
Them jackrabbits probably during season make good hunting. It's probably why they don't like to go near humans.
Yeah, they don't. They're a lot more timid. The bunnies will kind of come up to you and check you out and get close, but the jackrabbits, if they see you, they kind of dart out right away.
Well, some of those jackrabbits get big, man, almost like kangaroo size.
You don't want to hit them. You don't want to hit them; they'll damage your car.
A jackrabbit? Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I was traveling up that neck of the woods where you're at. I was driving up 58 until I hit 99. And in that stretch, jackrabbit crossed the frickin' road. I had to downshift and slow down. The thing was almost as long as the front of my Toyota. That was the 82. And it was almost as high as the hood. And its ear stuck up way above the hood by a headspan.
Damn.
Yeah, the thing was freaking huge. That'd end your trip real quick. You hit that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty. They take risks on the road too. I mean, they'll dart out.
I think sometimes people in trucks purposely hit them and then throw them in the back of the truck, take them home and eat them.
Yeah, probably.
Good eating.
Rabbit, yeah. Rabbit feet, rabbit legs.
So funny. I saw this. There's a story, right, where this Chinese restaurant would go around and round up fresh roadkill and put it in it was like a Mongolian barbecue type scenario. So then they would freeze the deer meat after it got ran over. And, in Mongolian barbecue, they slice the meat really thin, so you can't really tell what it is.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And it started off this whole giant debate in the comments. People are like, how dare those Chinese people, put roadkill and serve roadkill in their restaurant. And then the people are coming back, that meat was fresh. That's probably the freshest, best meat you could ever get. And just kept going back and forth in the comments. It was crazy.
No way to prove it, though.
Yep.
You don't really know, do you?
Yeah, who knows how long the deer... Apparently they had an arrangement with, they'd be notified, or they had a police scanner or something, or I don't know what it was. But they were able to get the... quickly find out where the roadkill was. Supposedly it was fresh. If it was fresh, maybe it would be better. But if it had been sitting a while, yeah, that wouldn't be good.
If it's sitting on the road in the sun, does that start to cook it?
I think it starts to rot it. Yeah, that's what happens.
It's not like putting an egg on a hot surface outside on the top of your car, cooking it. I guess I have to get quite hot for that, though.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen people cook eggs in a frying pan on the pavement in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that too.
I watched someone cook a breakfast like that. Eggs and bacon, man. I'm telling you, on the pavement. Yeah. And the guy goes, that is some serious stuff. He put an egg on the pavement and it sizzled. It cooked in like 2 minutes on the pavement itself. It's like, yeah, that's how we got the idea. Put a pan down. We let it sit there till the pan gets real hot in the sun. And then you just put your stuff in there and the heat from the ground itself will cook it. And cook eggs and bacon and all that. That is no kidding. Because that day, it was 114 in the shade. In the shade, man. It was like 117, 120 in the direct sunlight.
Yeah, I have to remember where this was. I think this might have been in Colorado, so maybe it was cold enough where the roadkill would have stayed cold for a long time.
So yeah, crazy stuff going on out there. You know, all you got to do is basically look around and where are all these problems happening at?
Gosh, I think they're happening in blue cities.
Yes. Where are the most unhappy people at right now? Voters, blue cities.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all the looting and stuff that's taking place there.
And you know what really sucks for the legitimate protesters are that legitimately protesting. Their protest is being basically hijacked by a terrorist organization that may or may not have had money donated to certain groups that goes to Antifa. And it's looking like other organizations are involved because basically the money that gets donated, I found the link, I'm looking for it real quick. Where'd it go? There you are. All right. Basically, when you click donate Black Lives Matter, it takes you to Act Blue. If donated money goes unclaimed, Act Blue disperses the money however they want. And it shows the top vendors and recipients: Bernie, Biden for president, Elizabeth Warren, Pete for America. Here, I will put this in the link in the chat so you guys can check it out yourself. But yeah. Let's see here. Let's share that. Let's see. I think that's it. Yeah. That right there. It's a screen grab. It shows you the donors. But yeah, you can find this stuff all over Twitter.
I've seen. Yeah, I think I saw you post this.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I sent it over to Scotty earlier, so he can make use of it.
No, Toxic Man Flu. They actually did. They actually did vote. They had a majority, but the mayor has said he's against it and he's not. He's turned it down. But Minneapolis City Council did actually vote to defund the police department. I
heard a rumor.
It's true.
I heard a rumor that a certain amount of police officers quit, and some took early retirement, and the rest are resignations.
Well,
and I'm not sure on the proof of that. That's why I'm not really giving no numbers, but I'm hearing that's what's happening.
I mean, would you want to be a cop right now? I can understand it, why they would just want to do that. Like, look at all the hate they're getting, and I mean, there's people literally saying that the kids show, Paw Patrol, it's a kids show about dogs and puppies. One of them, your kids watch it.
Favorite show. Yeah,
there you go. So there's people calling for that show to be canceled because the lead puppy is a police officer, like a police dog. So they want to cancel that. I read an article today. Rolling Stone wants to cancel. Hey, what's up, Mikhail? Wants to cancel Law and Order. Mariska Hargitay's character, who's been on the show for like I don't know 14 years or something, wants to cancel that show because it shows cops in a good light, and that's just a lie, and we shouldn't be promulgating that. That's part of the problem. It needs to be canceled. It's crazy to me. It's like, don't you want to have something that you want to aspire to? Shouldn't you at least have a good example of that on TV? Something to look. I mean, even if it's made up, it's at least something to look up to aspire to. It's like, get rid of Superman too, because
hey, man, the same stuff.
Can you imagine
the same stuff that's happening in Seattle? This happened over at Evergreen, Washington State College.
Can you imagine if people reacted this way and defunded hospitals and canceled Chicago Hope or whatever because of Dr. Kevorkian?
Right? Yeah.
What the fuck?
Cancel hospitals.
Yeah. Defund all hospitals and doctors.
So basically, because of the people's outrage there and what they were protesting at Evergreen State College, their biology program is basically non-existent now because the guy that ran the biology program over there, Brett Weinstein, he left. He had to testify at in Congress about all the stuff that happened there.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, how far does it go?
And see, and this is basically the radical left being taught in colleges.
Yep. Yep.
They're making themselves irrelevant is what they're doing, because people, I mean, it gets to a point where even where it just is ridiculous, and people just with common sense see that.
Have you seen the video that shows the former KGB guy in the late 84, 85 when he's talking about on how to indoctrinate and radicalize people in the United States? He said use the colleges, and he goes, it's too late now, it's already done, the whole generation's been radicalized. And and this was a video that was from 86 or 84, and he was saying exactly the things that are going on right now.
I mean, it's easy to see where this starts. It's definitely in the schools. Get to the kids while they're young, influence their decision making, and you got a movement going, and then you end up having Hell's Angels coming after you.
And the Soviets were also talking about sowing racial discord. That was also in their playbook.
Yeah, that was that guy talked about that too in that interview. And and you should see the comment section in that video. They're like, yeah, this guy was probably, kids like, former? Really? I don't think he's former. I think he's still working both sides. And a lot of people seem to be saying stuff like that. It probably was true. Yeah.
Could be.
Well, we'll soon see. The American thought process, whether people are smart enough to realize this stuff, or if it's too late for us. I think we'll soon see.
Well, basically all this stuff. Basically, hey Tommy. Right around when Obamagate was like getting huge, all of a sudden these protests start happening.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the protests, they were predicted before they happened. There was a Q drop. So that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there was all these organized groups that were just ready to go.
You know? I mean, T-shirts ready to go. How do you do that? It's like that had to have been already ready to go. And I don't know if you noticed some of the. There was a lot of really good information about the Yellow Vest movement and Antifa and the way that they were protesting and communicating and all that. They say it's really sophisticated. And basically,
the Yellow Vest movement, is that the Paris thing? Yellow Vest movement, right?
But I thought they lumped those two together where they probably shouldn't have, because that Yellow Vest is a completely different thing. But they were making comparisons. I think that's why they did that.
Like maybe how they organize.
And they explained what the umbrella is for. What can't see you from the sky if you got an umbrella open? Drones, satellites,
surveillance cameras.
If you're under an umbrella, they can't see you, and the cameras can't see you when you're committing crimes like rioting. Harder to catch you. And there's videos of U.S. Marshals picking Antifa members up off the sidewalks here and there. Did you see the video?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's showed up in the last 2 weeks, and there's U.S. Marshals that are picking up people that have done damage and commit terrorist acts by rioting and damaging property. And the video been popping up here and there, and they were serious. They told them if they tried to follow them, they'd shoot them. Yeah, they appeared out of nowhere and disappeared.
I think Brother might be onto something there in the chat. What I think we're going to see is a drop in incarceration for major offenses and an increase in minor ones, because male Karen is now the force, and you played your music too loud at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, we're only going to enforce the law on law-abiding citizens. Kind of how that goes.
Right. Targeting.
Well, keep doing that. Keep pushing the people that aren't necessarily in any persuasion. Keep pushing. Because what they're doing is they're pushing people more toward the right.
Yeah, I mean,
basically people that are moderates that ain't made their mind up yet. Well, guess what? They just made their mind up.
Yeah, I have to imagine a lot of the left that is more, moderate or traditional left, that they can't be seeing what's going on in Seattle and saying like, yeah, that's right, that's the way to go. I mean, that has to be too extreme for even them.
Well, I mean, you look at everybody is calling some of these idiots out now. You're even getting comedians like freaking, what's that goof, Bill Maher. Even he was calling them out on that stupid shit that defund the police.
Wow.
Because I just read an article about that earlier. And I mean, you get these fucking people and they're sitting there and they're talking about it like all these fucking goddamn son of a bitches up in their fucking rich ass mansions up in fucking Hollywood Hills and in Beverly Hills. And they're talking about, oh, well, Black Lives Matter and this, that, and the other thing. And the cops are out there killing dozens and this, that every week. You know what? It's not happening like that. It really isn't. And nobody ever wants to talk about the real fucking problem that's been going on forever. If you've ever lived in an inner city, and I know Bear understands this, fucking black people kill each other a lot in the inner cities. There's a lot of black on black crimes, and everybody just wants to look the other way over that shit. Nobody ever wants to fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
But they hey, did some of these
I'm
cops...
from Gary. That's normal.
Yeah, did some of these cops fucking go over the line? You better fucking believe a lot of cops go over the line. I fucking had that shit happen to me when I lived in fucking Trenton. I had them come after me and try to arrest me on some bullshit charges before. This is nothing new. There's always going to be crooked cops, but they sit there and they put it not only on just the cops, but then they put it on every white person too, because they say, oh, well, it's the white people that are the fucking problem. Well, you know what? Fuck you. If you look at the statistics, more white people are killed by fucking cops per year than fucking black people. Fucking riddle me that one, Batman.
Couldn't say it much better. Yeah, I've seen some pretty bad police behavior myself, so I get exactly what you're saying, Tommy. I've seen cops show up completely fucking shit-faced drunk, still drinking. One of them like whips his dick out and starts taking a piss right there while he's drunk.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That's a huge problem.
And you know what, guys? Just for sheer giggles, I don't know if you talk about this one because I missed some of it because, I was sitting there in Steven's chat earlier and, Stephen Walton, your fandom menace historian was doing some really good animal work, and I was enjoying it so much I wound up getting a small headache from laughing to death. But
my cheeks were hurting me at the end of that stream. I was laughing so hard.
But when you look at those jackasses that fucking are with that whole Chaz nonsense, when they sit there and took over, there's what is like 4 to 6 city blocks maximum or something.
Yeah.
Because I heard one thing they said 3, but then somebody else said, oh well, it's a block extending in each direction, which would make it 4. I mean, obviously these fucking retards from the left can't even fucking count anymore. But whatever, I digress. But when you look at it, what is the first thing they did?
It's a 6-block area.
Well, what's the first thing they did? What's the first thing they did? They want to get rid of the police. They want to defund the police. But the very first fucking thing they did is they set up a perimeter around the motherfucking area with armed fucking guards, watching out for people. What the fuck do you think most police fucking do? They do the same shit, you fucking morons. But you can't get the fucking retarded ass fucking media to admit that shit. They got to fucking run with the narrative because it's sensationalism. You know what? Because this shit is going to fucking make the news. It's going to generate interest. Kiss my motherfucking ass. Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't watch very much standard broadcast news. I will watch news organization that's on YouTube and that's sharing actual real news. And I'll catch a little bit of local news channel if the Como 5's coming in, because honestly, there's the black chick that does that newscast, man. She is always dressed really nice. She always looks good, long black flowing hair. And honestly, I'm watching her because I don't really care about the news because she delivers the news so well. Oh, what can I say? I think I'm becoming a fan. But no, that woman, I watched her. Someone said gunshot or gun, and everyone darted and ran everywhere. And man, that woman moved fast. She ducked and darted out, and was like, "Wow, where'd she go?" She just disappeared.
What did you guys? Oh,
somebody was open carrying their AR-15.
Hey Bear, did you hear about the last one? The one in Atlanta? No. There was a guy in Atlanta.
Oh, I heard they put
a guy in Atlanta apparently was outside of what the hell was it? It was like a McDonald's or something. It was right outside of a fast food restaurant. So
Wendy's. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. And he went to
that
take
place.
The
that place is.
He was fighting with the cops and he took the taser off him. And then whatever went down, they tried to tase him at first, and then another cop came out and just shot him. I don't know if the other cop thought he had a gun or whatever the hell it was, but yeah, he wound up shooting and killing him. So what is the first thing that those people did? What is the first thing they did? They burned down that fucking Wendy's.
Yep, I saw that.
And
how the motherfucker? Well, Bear, hold on. Let me just throw this out real quick. I want to know how the fuck does that help somebody that may have gotten, because I don't know all the details, so I can't say for sure, whether it was they were in the wrong. They probably were. More than likely, they probably were. It was probably some moron cop who was fucking overzealous and shot the guy fucking dead. It probably was that way. But how the fuck does that help the person who got shot by burning the business down outside of where he got fucking killed? How the fuck does that help?
It don't.
No, it doesn't at all.
It don't. Here's the thing. Do not think for a minute that this stuff's not being orchestrated, because we have been told it is. And if you look at things and you're aware of what's happening, you know it's orchestrated completely. And I mean, it's just a huge fucking picture show the news media is fucking writing, and they're writing the fucking scripts, and the scripts are getting given to them. So I don't believe a damn thing any of them say. I don't believe in nothing. I don't believe anything they're saying. I don't even believe what Fox News is saying. I don't trust any of them. because it's going to come down to it. It's going to be citizen journalists on YouTube putting a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and because things are so toxic, they're being forced to go to Patreon so that they can put incendiary stuff on there and talk openly. You know, like we should be able to do on here, but we have to be careful about what we say. And you know, and that's the reason why I got that banner warning opinions given and rumors expressed, because that's what we're doing. That's why I got that banner across there. And you know, these people just straight up lying. Lie, toxic. They don't know any better. They don't know any other tune to sing. And that's where we're at. Hollywood, they don't give a shit about nobody. Hollywood actors, they don't care about nothing but a narrative. And they've proven that. So I'm really done with them. I really am. You know, there's a few actors that are really freaking cool that are not doing stuff like this. As far as I know, Matthew McConaughey, he's done only one PSA, and that was at the beginning of the Pink Elephant. And he did a PSA, and he did a cue hand motion. Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, did he? And we watched it together, man. It's like at stereo, we're like, did he just do a cue hand motion? And that was cool. Well, and so
definitely looks like it.
You know what another actually pretty hysterical freaking thing to this is I've talked about this before many times, how everything comes and goes in a fucking circle. It always comes back around to the same bullshit over and over again. Just like the cancel culture shit. You know, you had your PMRC in the fucking 80s, and then you had, you know, shit way before that when they decided they wanted to get rid of freaking alcohol and ban that. There's always been some kind of cancel culture, and there's always been a group that wants to stir the pot between the races. And it was either in the late 80s or in the early or mid 90s that you had that whole thing with racial profiling. Do you remember that? Where if they pulled over anybody who was black or brown, that they had to walk on eggshells because they were automatically going to be in the wrong regardless of the reason on why they were pulling them over, or if they were trying to detain them. And you're coming right back around to that same shit again. And once again, it was the whole war on drug culture.
Yeah.
And the other factor to what you're saying is the fact that places like Gary, Indiana, there's only so many mill jobs to go around, and the other job, guess what? Standing on the corner selling crack or something like that, or selling weed, or doing something. That's what they do in Gary, and there's a lot of other places where Gary's an unusual place. Everybody can carry guns legally, and they can have a permit and stuff like that. And so people in Gary kind of like don't really fuck with each other because they know someone's going to shoot back at them. And it's one of those rare kind of places that doesn't really have any gun control. However, you know, I go your background check. I think it's 24 or something like that. And you got places like
California, it's a 10-day process.
All like, yeah, and I think up in Washington State, I think it's a 2-week process. To go through the checks, and they do a mental health check, stuff like that.
Wow,
I think, as well. But up here we have open carry, and I believe when you open carry, you can't have a clip, you can't have one chambered. That's how when you carry a rifle.
Wait, you mean you can't have a clip?
You can't have your clip in your gun. You can't have a clip and taken out. You cannot have a round chambered when you open carry.
Okay. I didn't know you couldn't have a clip in it.
That goes for a rifle. Now, handgun, I think is different.
Oh, okay, for rifle. Okay, got it.
Because handguns you have to have a permit in some cases for handguns.
Right.
But you can legally open carry a handgun out in the open, not concealed.
Not concealed, yeah.
Right. And when you carry your rifle, it has to be on a sling designed so it's secured. And so if it's on the proper sling, then you got no problems. Then those people were freaking out over someone who was legally carrying that rifle.
Yeah.
Was it smart? Not really. Stupid.
Yeah.
But someone brought their rifle to the protest, and everyone kind of freaked out and scattered. He wasn't pointing it at nobody, and it was in the right position down, and he was using his Second Amendment right and his Washington State firearms right to open carry.
You wonder if he was doing it to just, to see what would happen if they were going to let him do it, or, was it to make a point, or was it just for protection?
It looked like in the video, because I watched it live when it was happening on Como 4, and I think he was at least 30 feet away from the barricade where the cops were at, and I think it was hard to tell, but I think they may have asked him to step further away back from the barricade. And they said somebody in the news, they always say it in the news, oh, someone's going to look after it and look into it. I guarantee you they didn't look into it because he was legally carrying that, and it was the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Hey, Wookie, when you're talking about that whole thing with the doctors saying it's okay to protest and everything, they've already come back out now, and they're saying that it's not a good idea to be out there and protest, and they're talking about there's a spike in cases.
Oh, that's BS. That's BS.
That's their narrative now, though, because
yes.
everything's not going the way that they wanted. They weren't expecting people to go around and start burning everything to the ground.
Well,
what the fuck did they think was going to happen when they got a bunch of goddamn communist fascists out there to fucking run things? What did they think was going to happen?
Yeah, I question that whole thing. In California, LA, we have our Mayor Garcetti, and he told us 2 weeks ago? I guess 3 weeks ago now. 3 weeks ago that if we went out without a mask, we were gonna kill our grandparents, and we were putting everyone at risk. And then the first week of the protest, that after week 1, he was seen outside with the protesters giving a speech and talking to them without a mask on. So it's like, how are you going to tell us 1 week we're so irresponsible for not wearing a mask and it's mandatory and we're going to kill our grandparents, and the next week you're out doing it without a mask? That's what makes me question. Like, okay, well, how serious? I mean, if he's the mayor.
Well, I mean, we're
as
seeing
a
a lot
dude
of that kind of thing.
As to do what's up there on the screen right now, yeah, they've already been tried. We all know that. Well, at least some of us know that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to get to the point where everything's going to boil over. And they're going to wind up realizing that they created a situation that is completely untenable and is completely out of their control. And with Smokey the Bear no longer allowed to put out those forest fires, this one is going to freaking ravage the fucking land.
Hey, follow the money.
Part of the
follow the money.
Globalist plan.
Any money that's dirty, follow it. It's gonna lead back to whoever was doing what. And you're gonna find, and this once again, this is my opinion, and we express rumors here as well, just like the warning says, that you follow the money, you're gonna find a whole bunch of people in Hollywood, you're gonna find a whole bunch of people in blue states connected with Soros, and then connect the dots from Soros, Antifa, whole protest movement. Oh, bricks showing up here and there from Acme Bricks. There you go. Follow the money. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to listen to nobody. They don't have to listen to no one. Just follow the money. And just tell the news media, shut the hell up. We're not interested in hearing their lies. Because that's all it is, lies. And I think the only 2 people that are putting halfway decent news out there is probably Sean Hannity and Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker's
and maybe
been
a
doing
few different. There's a couple different. The 5. Other than that, the rest of the news from Fox, and even then, you gotta really ask, okay, is this a script they were given? You have to. I find myself doing that all the time because I see patterns and stuff.
There's Conan O'Brien did a funny segment years ago on this, basically saying that all the news is scripted. He showed
the local
different
news,
local news from all over the country on all different networks, and they all had they were reading the same exact headline. It's pretty funny to watch. You can go to YouTube and find it, but
and I made a video about it, and I took a small clip from that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
I think it was like gas prices are on the rise or something like that, and they all say the same exact words,
exact same thing, exact same way. Yep.
Yeah. So you look at who owns all the media companies. It's like, there's like 6 companies that own all of them, the mainstream media, papers, the television stations, magazines. It's all owned by the same 6 companies, and they pretty much, they have the same point of view. So it seems like sometimes they're literally sending out the same script. It's because it's hard to chalk that up to coincidence when you have so many of those local news stations all reading the same exact thing. Coincidence?
So something's up when you can do that. And it's like, don't they realize that someone's bound to notice?
Yeah, but most people are not going to notice because most people are sheeple. Most people just follow the narrative. They put their heads down in the sand. They either don't want to be bothered to be involved, or they're too scared to be involved.
Well, I also think they're so, they view themselves as so powerful that they don't care. I mean, look, it was on Conan O'Brien, which is on NBC, which is one of the networks. So they're, it's almost like, why would they allow him to have a segment on that? They could have pulled the plug on that segment if they wanted, but they don't care. What are they going to say? What they believe that there's too much power there. They can't be stopped.
Nope.
I mean, as far as like some of these other organizations like BLM, I want to drop my last 2 cents on that. If
they're a corporation,
yeah, I know they are, and I know that their money is getting funneled in through freaking democratic organizations. I know about that, but if they're really out to help people, where the fuck were they when I had a friend of mine that I used to work with who was black, and he went through the same bullshit that I went through with child support system. And the child support system, of course, favors the fucking woman. He was going to have his young daughter stripped from him because his wife decided to fuck somebody else and was going to leave his ass and then take him for every dime he had. And he tried to fight it in the court, and they were laughing him right out of the court because, they don't give a shit about a fucking guy going to court against a woman. They don't give a shit. Where the fuck were they to protect his ass over that? He wound up becoming so distraught out over it. He not only fucking killed his wife, but he killed himself.
Oh, my God.
Right, wow. And the worst part of that is he did it right in front of his fucking daughter.
Jeez.
I still got the I still got the paper, left over from when it happened, and that was terrible, man. It was when I used to work in PA. I used to work for this company called Silgan Plastics. They make like Listerine bottles and shit like that. So then another friend of mine, it was a friend of mine through my brother. He lived in Trenton his whole life, and he was being hounded by not only the Bloods, but he was being hounded by other gangs as well. And for a short time, he wound up, because he's part black and he's part Spanish. So he wound up joining up with the Latin Kings because they were the least offensive out of the gangs that were harassing him. And they wanted him to do shit. He had to run out of Trenton. He had to leave the state, and he went out west to get away from it. Where the fuck were these organizations to help him?
Wow. Yeah.
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 They really care about that kind of shit. Where the fuck were they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. They only choose the
Absolutely.
big events that get a lot of coverage, and then all of a sudden they're there. But yeah,
Well,
where were you through all the other times?
It was like me and Bear were talking about earlier. I just watched this documentary on this guy that spent 3 freaking years in jail before he even never got charged. And it's like, okay, so they had a black prosecutor, a black DA. This dude, that was his part of his strategy, was they couldn't, the witness was gone. They couldn't find the witness. They had a camera that could have exonerated him. Didn't get the footage from the fucking camera. And this guy sat in jail for 3 years, got out. And this is happening systemically, and it's like it's when you get in these blue cities, they talk the talk, but they don't, because they don't really believe that stuff. They don't believe it. It's just it's just there for public consumption. We need a black guy. We need a black guy to say the right stuff. He says the right stuff, and then they don't believe it. They don't believe it, and that's why what's happening is happening. And unfortunately, people buy it, and that's why they're voting the way that they're voting continually in large numbers, which is disgusting.
Yeah, stop putting those same people back in office that don't care about you.
Yeah.
Maybe start looking at what they're doing. If you're in a really blue area, and continually there's police brutality, and the system is fucking rigged, and there are bad shoots, and people getting railroaded by the court system, but they're saying one thing, take a look at it. And the thing is, if you're a libertarian or you're for liberty, they're using the racial rhetoric to gaslight you. If you just stick with the Constitution and what that says and liberty, and focus on that, and you won't be gaslighted.
Well, they want to create the problem so they can come in with solutions and sell you on their answer. That seems to be the whole agenda.
Yeah, well, their answer sucks.
Yeah.
Their answer is, keep fighting against the white people, black people. Hey, white people, be afraid of the black people. Meanwhile, they're running off with the money. They're running off with the money.
Oh, let's throw more communism at it.
Yeah, well, that's their answer. It's like, let's create a problem and then come in with an answer of like, well, that means we need to defund police. Well, that means we need to have socialist societies. Well, that means you need to start your own autonomous zone in frickin' Seattle.
God.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The answer is ridiculous.
Just imagine if Martin Luther King could see some of the shit that these people are doing right now.
Hey,
those same people will no doubt be fucking praising him when it comes time around for his fucking birthday. Which, by the way, I happen to be born on the same day as him. So, yeah.
I would kind of be curious to see what Martin Luther King would have said about Jesse Jackson getting to be a multi-millionaire, and
hold on a minute. I need to ask Wookie.
His son ended up in Congress when he was there when he got shot. How does that happen?
Yep.
Go ahead, Bear.
Yep.
Hey, hold on a minute. Wookiee Supremacy says yesterday one source released a totally unverified long list of names. I did not see that. That wouldn't have happened to have been Unveiled Age, was it? Because this person was saying they had some information, and
person no longer exists.
They were either they were either suspended. I can still open it and look at it. Fortunately, I've already screen grabbed it, but
have a good one, Parrothead. Take care.
Night, Parrothead.
It's insane. It's insane. They're gonna run this narrative, I guarantee you, until after elections are over. Then all of a sudden you're gonna see all this shit just mysteriously die down, and nobody's gonna talk about it again.
Yeah.
Well, basically, what you're going to have is you're going to have the veil pulled out from underneath them, and then they're going to be whining because all of a sudden they got a court date coming up, and they're probably going to do a couple years in prison for vandalism and crossing state lines to do vandalism.
I don't think we've seen the end of this either. I mean, I think, if depending on how the election goes, but I can only see it either way. I don't see this getting better, at least for the short term. Because you imagine the riots, like if Trump were to get reelected. What's up, Brad? If Trump got reelected, they've already set the precedent for like complete, anarchy is okay. The police aren't going to stop you.
My governor's running again, and he was running for president, if I remember correctly. Well, he's dropped out, and he's running for governor here. Well, there's two other guys in the Republican Party that's running for governor, and I gotta say one of them looking real good because one's I believe he's a state senator, and I've been reading some things about him. There's another guy I want to check out what he's got to say, and come November, there's a lot of people going to vote for them, I do believe, because there's no other good choices. And one of the things that I'm not liking is they're putting restrictive things on school starting up again, and they're going to make people wear masks. No one can make you wear a mask. It's an ADA violation. Basically, makes you reveal what medical conditions you have. It's not a hospital. You're not stepping into a doctor's office, so there's no damn need for you to put a mask on. And read the fine print on these boxes. And I've seen fine print, and they basically one-time use. It does not protect you much. It all says it right there in the fine print. I've seen a lot of pictures of these boxes. Even the N. What are those N? N95.
N95.
N95. Yeah. I've heard even they have its limitations. And really, what you need to get down to is those masks you wear with those big, huge filters that filters everything out. That's what you would literally have to wear.
Yeah, right. To actually stop.
The same kind of mask that somebody would wear while get filters out fumes and all that stuff in it. Yeah, we all agree it's definitely all bull.
Yeah, like a miner's mask.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Yeah, basically that's what it would take. Yeah, it's kind of silly that. And I've seen those too, the boxes that from was it the CDC or the WHO that were saying these masks are not intended, you should not be wearing them if you're not sick, but yeah, that went out the window real quick.
What puzzles me is when I see people driving around in their cars alone with the masks.
Yeah.
or out in public, like on a sidewalk and they're the only one.
Yeah.
You know what the mask is for, right?
Wes, if they're in the car by themselves, do you want them to catch it from themselves? Think about this.
Well, if they're that dumb, maybe.
Okay, if they're Looney Tunes from the Funny Papers is catchy, man. I don't want a Looney Tune funny in the wrong way.
It's the power of fear.
A pink elephant might come and
You can otherwise. You can otherwise poison the mind of someone who, probably has more rational thought, but, you just keep stirring that fear inside of them. And all of a sudden they start thinking irrationally and crazy and, doing things that don't really make sense that they wouldn't normally do, except for now they're so freaking afraid.
Yeah, but how did they get to the fear though? They don't get to the fear just by saying, "Hey, you should be scared because of this." They do it through mob mentality. They get everybody else scared. They get everybody else scared. That leaves oh well, these people are doing it too, and those people are maybe I should be wearing it too.
Yep.
Because I know when all this shit first started and people were wearing masks, you've seen a few people here and there wearing masks. And as more and more people started getting scared because they seen other people wearing them and they started wearing them, next thing you know, damn near everybody was wearing them.
Yep.
Mass hysteria.
Basically.
I've been when I go out somewhere, and every now and then I just have to say something, and the word comes out my mouth. Sheep, roll out like that, and I'm like, oh, did I say that? And they kind of get a funny look on their face. Yeah.
Actually, had some lady.
And what's really cool is I'm having conversations with people who also think the same way I do and think it's all blown out of proportion. We shut down things for basically for the other yearly once a year regular elephant that comes around, and rhinovirus and the flu virus, and all that stuff, and that stuff just mysteriously just disappeared. No stats, gone.
No, it's just funny too. The last 3 weeks we've had protests, that link, no one's been mentioning it.
Oh yeah.
Now all of a sudden, they've died down a little bit. It's like, oh, no, cases are going up. It's like, really, for 3 weeks, there was no talk about it. Now it's going up.
Yeah, Wookiee Supremacy was talking about that list that got released. That's Amazing Polly. It would be really, I'd be surprised if she was putting something out there that's not true. And granted, those channels that cover stuff like that, that is a huge rumors warning discretion that they should be giving, because a lot of that stuff's coming through sources and stuff like that, and
they can't verify it, but yet they still kind of put it out there, like yeah. I mean, that was the same thing with like that Unveiled Age. She was saying stuff that was like, oh, my sources say this. I guarantee it. It's definitely tonight. My source says definitely tonight. And then, all of a sudden, she's like, well, I don't know. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And she was getting so upset that people were like, coming at her saying like, hey, don't say this. If where's the sauce, right? They were saying that. And,
well, the sauce proof.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, right. And it's like, well, you can't go around saying this stuff with such certainty, right, and then come around and be upset with people when you don't have any proof of it, and then you say like, well, maybe it won't happen. I don't know. I'm just going to sit back and watch. Well, if you don't know, then don't come out. Don't be tweeting all this stuff with such certainty. Clearly, people are going to be like, come on, what's your proof?
Well, all the QAnon coders that I'm following, they all were like asking questions, and some of them were being fairly polite. A lot of them were being directly to the point, but not necessarily rude. But a lot of them were really being rude to her. And the first thing people were telling her that intel don't come through these comms.
Right. Yep.
It's through the Q app or through the pub website, which the Q alert's been going off the hook.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm searching for something. Always looking for something. I'm always busy, man. The Guinea Pig Collective. We're always up to something.
I thought that was an exercise bike.
All right, guys, I'm gonna take off because my food is ready here.
Nice.
Food.
Yeah, I haven't eaten.
You're gonna come back? We're gonna be here for a little bit.
Probably not, because we got like a small little house here, so I don't want to keep the wifey up. Plus, we can get up early. We're trying to catch some sunrises at 5:30 a.m. I don't think we're gonna do that tomorrow, but
dude, the sunrises over there are freaking phenomenal.
They're better than the sunsets here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They rise right over the mountains, and it's like, oh man, it's pretty impressive.
So, before you go, I'll leave you with this, being where you're at.
Okay.
I was at the end of being on the road for 23 hours I had been driving. And I had just hit 58, Highway 58, driving north. And I got over and down the first pass as the sun was coming up.
Yeah. And
I just made it, everything. The sunset was freaking fabulous. And then I fell asleep at the rest area. Because the road in front of me was stretching to the right, stretching forward and back. I had been awake for 23 hours. And bologna sandwiches and coffee just doesn't have that much kick after that.
Yeah, bologna sandwich. Yeah.
So I thought I'd leave you with that. So when you're watch the sunrise, and you'll be like, "Yeah, he was in this area a few years back." Yeah.
Thinking of you with a bologna sandwich.
Yeah. Well, hey, when you're traveling down the road, bologna sandwiches, man. Really does.
Oh, you know what? I love bologna sandwiches. It's bologna sandwich with Munster cheese. That's one of my go-tos. Yep, it's good stuff.
I like Munster cheese.
After you get done having your meal, don't forget to have a nice coffee with it.
That's my go to sleep and wake me up. Gets you right up in the morning. Really wakes you up, cleans you out.
Really gets your ass moving.
really gets your ass moving in the morning. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
Good night.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, and I threw your link out there in the chat for those that aren't subbed to you, but I'm pretty sure everyone here is probably subbed to you.
Yeah, well, I would
have a good one, Final.
All right, see you guys.
Yeah.
Have some Pete's. I know I will. Matter of fact, I'm having some Pete's right now. Believe it or not, it don't taste too bad lukewarm. Actually cold. I retract the lukewarm part.
I've got some cold brew in the fridge now.
I was going to ask, did you guys see that shit with they were going after people like Terry Crews as well?
Yep.
I haven't heard the details, but I heard something along those lines.
Basically, what he was saying is he was basically kind of condemning the rioters and shit like that, and the whole thing about defunding police, and everybody just started attacking them. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was like they were one step away from saying everything except that he was white. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
But there was a list of celebrities that they attacked. They all did pretty much the same thing. They said defunding the police was stupid, and that the whole thing with the rioters and the Black Lives Matter people are doing is just idiotic. And yeah,
the best thing that I think Hollywood actors can do is just don't say nothing. Now's a good time to just not condone violence. Be silent, because I don't know about you guys, but there's definitely needs of police reform,
Oh, for sure.
And I did watch the press conference that the president had with law enforcement figures from around the country, and it was specifically to do with law enforcement reform. And so we're going to be seeing some legislation that are going to be making federally mandated reforms and procedures and training for police officers.
Well, once again, I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. To me, that was never the fucking problem. I couldn't agree more, because like I said, I've had my problems with police when I lived in Trenton. They tried to accuse me. Here, I'm going to give you a quick scenario real quick. I was recovering.
Well, what you're talking about, you're talking about corrupt police that go after people. It doesn't matter who they are.
Well, yeah,
I know exactly because we've seen it everywhere.
They're everywhere. They're all over the place, and that's the problem. I mean, they're allowed to fester in certain areas, and especially inner cities. So I was actually recovering from an ACL knee surgery, and my whole leg was in an immobilized cast. My freaking roommate had started shit with somebody in a bar. He came back with 4 of his friends with bats and pipes and sticks and shit like that. He ran into another section of the house, locked himself away. Who the fuck do you think they came after? They came after me. They freaking beat me upside the head and beat me in my freaking arms because I was using my arms to protect my face, and I got all the muscles in my arms crushed. Didn't have any bones broken or nothing like that. Cops took 45 minutes to get out there. 45. They got out there. They had the ambulance called. They took me to the freaking hospital. They had me outside the x-ray room waiting. Goddamn sergeant came up to me, and this is exactly what he told me. Why don't you just admit it's over drugs and we can go easy on you? That's exactly what he fucking told me. Why? Because he didn't like the way I looked. Because I had a long ponytail. Because I had tattoos. I guess I looked too much like a biker or something to him. Who fucking knows? Because you know what? They're not prejudiced against just somebody who's Spanish or black. They're prejudiced against people that don't conform to society. At least the society of their fucking views. And I think a lot of these fucking morons miss that kind of shit. And you get some of them to tell you, well, you don't know what the fuck it means. You're not fucking black. You're not Spanish. Really, motherfucker? Oh, really? I bet you fucking lived in a suburb somewhere your whole fucking life talking that fucking nonsense. You never lived in an inner city and seen other people that are fucking white going through the same fucking shit. Maybe it's not exactly the same as a black person, but it is very fucking similar. So don't even give me that bullshit that I don't know what the fuck it's like. Because I fucking lived it. Kiss my motherfucking ass.
Exactly. That's the problem. The cops have the problem. They're power tripping. And, dude, they treat the general public like dirt. They don't treat them like they're the customer.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, that was never the problem. The police reform is never the problem. The problem was that these people decide that, well, it's not just the police. It's every other person that, that's white because they did it. Really? Yep. Really, motherfucker? Really? The fuck out of my face with that stupid shit. That's what I can't stand. The motherfucking stupidity that are, just revolves around those fucking people. They got no common sense.
RR in the chat's chiming in there. He's had that happen. I've had some bad experiences with cops myself a couple of times.
Well, I can tell you about one of my experiences. I was in North Kingstown, Rhode Island, and apparently my friend was being raided. And at the time, I had ponytail down to my belt, beard probably past the collar of my shirt, and probably had a bandana wrapped around my head. And who's he pointing his gun at? Right at me. And my hands were already in the air as soon as I saw him come in the door. And he thought he was being quiet. I watched the door open. Because you know why? I always put myself where I can watch the door at all times. And that guy came in there, and a skinhead looking state cop came in, and the East Coast, they have those oval cuffs. They're not round, they're oval shaped. They have to be on your wrist accurately. Guess what? He put it on my wrist the short way. It was crushing my wrist, my right wrist, and the local PD almost had to take me to the hospital to have that damn thing cut off. And I'm like, if you got to squeeze it just a little bit, I can take the pain, turn the key. I can take it. And that's exactly what he did, and he got it off my wrist. He goes, man, I am so sorry about that. He goes, that guy shouldn't have put you in those cuffs that way. And the look on his face, it was brutal. And it's cops like that. Cops like that need to be checked. Absolutely. And there's a history of it. And those kind of cops, they don't go after people of color. They go after all people. They're dicks to everybody.
Exactly.
Those kind of cops.
It's not like they're saying, "Oh, I'm going to be a dick, and I'm only going to be a dick to black people." What the fuck?
You know that? You know where your thumb starts at your wrist? You know where your thumb starts at your wrist? I could not feel the top of my thumb from my wrist to my outer knuckle of my thumb. It was numb. Couldn't feel it, and I couldn't feel that like that for like 3 years. It took 3 years for the feeling to come back. So yeah, I know a little bit about hateful cops that hate everybody equally.
Yeah, but they want to paint this picture that is awfully one-sided, and it's not. It's not. And I think that's the biggest point that they miss. That's the point they always fucking miss.
Yep.
I mean, a little bit of fucking common sense will go a long fucking way. I mean, I wish they would fucking figure that out.
Yeah, me too.
I just seen something.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's what our elites want. They want this divide and conquer bullshit. And that was a point I was wanting to make earlier. So, in addition to them not liking a nationalist as our president, they do seem, they do. They're globalists, and it's like, pandemic. Well, we're going to need to trace you. We want to do contact tracing. We want to do contact tracing like they did in Korea. So we want to have contact. We should be able to track everybody in their phone. Oh, okay. People aren't going to go for that. Well, we've got riots. There's riots. You know how we track the rioters? Maybe if we track them through their phones, and we have the ability to do that, we'll be able to track the rioters. See kind of where it's going?
Yep.
Oh, I mean, really, tracking the rioters a lot of times don't even matter. 'Cause, I mean, look what happened in that freaking that town with that whole Chaz shit. I mean, look at that. They knew where they all were. They know where they all are. And what are they doing? They've done nothing. Why? Because you have a left-leaning mayor in that town who doesn't want to do anything. They want that social and political discord to go on. It makes no sense.
None whatsoever.
Yeah, or I hear you definitely. RR says I would get pulled over on my flipping bicycle going 2 blocks to the gym. Meanwhile, I had 3 bikes stolen and the cops did jack, but they love to give tickets. You know what, RR? I was in the same situation. If a lot of people who I know and I've talked to over the years, and a lot of the people that I've met over on YouTube now over the past year, I've told them plenty of times about how I've had like a numerous comic books and toys and everything else that have been stolen off me when I used to live in Trenton. And the cops did jack fucking shit about it. They did nothing. They even told me, we'll file a report. Doesn't mean you're going to get anything. Yeah, well, fuck you. Why the fuck am I reporting it? And the same douchebags that attacked me in my house, they came back later on. They broke windows in the house, and they broke my pickup truck window because I had a pickup truck at the time. They broke the fucking window. I called the cops. And they came out, and they said, yeah, okay, we'll just take the report. Well, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Nothing. You can go to court, but you're not going to get anything. Really? So when I went to court, that's exactly what happened. He was already in jail, and they never picked him up on the charges against me. And let's not mention 3 other people that he did the exact same thing to. 2 of them were women that were ex-girlfriends of his. Now, you think that maybe they would have did something because a woman was involved. Nope, they didn't care because he was already a career criminal, and they already had a record on him, so they didn't give a fucking shit at all. Not at all. So when they got him, they picked him up on marijuana charges. And he was serving, what was it, like 60 days or 90 days or whatever it was. And I think he served over half, so he had 30 days left on his thing. So he served 60 days out of 90. He had 30 days left. This judge turned around and said, well, I'm going to take all these charges of aggravated assault and property destruction and all that, and I'm just going to run and concur with the time he has left. So he did no motherfucking time for all the crimes that he committed against all of us. None whatsoever. Because he was already in jail for something else. And then when I was going out and I talked to the clerk of the court on the way out, she laughed and she's like, don't expect that you're ever going to get money out of this because you're not. We're going to get our money, but you ain't getting nothing. I said, really? I said, well, what the fuck did I come here and file this shit for? I had my fucking gun out the window. I should have just shot him. And she said, well, you can't do that. Why the fuck not? You're not going to help me.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? The fucking left would never want to talk about something like that. They would sweep that shit under the rug. That don't matter. Wrong fucking skin color. It don't matter. Now, if I was Spanish or something like that, man, they want to hear my story all day long. Oh, that's terrible. And it's not racist. It's just the truth. Because right now they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And unfortunately, what's going to happen at some point when the pendulum swings the other way again, then it's going to be, well, if you're black or brown, we don't want to hear your story. And it's going to go back to the same bullshit that it was before. Because there's never, unless everything is completely revamped this entire country, there's never actually going to be total and complete equality for everybody. It's just not going to fucking happen. It isn't. Because the system is fucking corrupt, and it's always been corrupt.
That's why it's being torn down as we speak in a very creative way. You notice that the Federal Reserve don't exist no more. It's part of the Treasury now. Ever hear of a thing called Jasar Nassar? Yeah. That's that's happening as we speak. And the reason why these things all of a sudden just coincidentally happening is because of all the stuff that's happening. You know what happens when you light a ship on fire when there's rats in it?
The jump ship?
Yes. You know what happens when there's a bunch of rats in the field and you do a prescribed burn? So that way the undergrowth can come back and grow and nice flowers will come back. Rats. They run. So, a lot of prescribed burning going to be going on, metaphorically speaking. And basically just look for those Q drops. A lot of good information coming through. You know?
Yep. Have to check it out.
And believe it or not, put a lot of prayer out there. A lot of dark forces at work, and I don't think I'm twisting anything right there, because there are definitely some dark forces going on, and definitely put a lot of good prayer out there for those who need it, even for those that don't.
Sure.
But yeah, man, a lot of crazy stuff out there, and you know, and basically, in some of the Q drops, there's been a few things said. Their symbolism will reveal them. They can't help it. They have to use their symbolism. They can't help it. So when they go on the news, they're using symbolism. When they talk and stuff on these news organizations, news programs, TV shows, they're using their symbolism, and they're becoming very noticeable to people because everyone's waking up. Yeah, there was I seen that there was 1,000 kids that were rescued. Trying to find the link where I put it at.
That's a crazy story, Wookie. It's always nice to have somebody who can talk their way out of something.
What's up, Justin?
Oh, you're still on. Holy shit. What's up, guys?
Hey, Justin.
Hey.
Talking about the elephant in the world and the, what was it? Someone come up with the rainbow giraffe. Yeah.
What? What the hell have you guys been talking about?
Current events.
Pink elephant and the rainbow giraffe.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I am Tommy Leaves. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tommy. What did I do?
Emerald.
Come back. Come back. By the way, how are you fellas doing?
Oh, good. Basically, we've put our foots down and built our berm, and then we're flying out. Yeah.
What's up, Justin?
Hey, what's up, Tommy?
I had to drop out. I didn't hear you. I heard Justin's here, and I'm like, I didn't even hear him. I was like, shit, got to back out again.
Yeah, normally when he can't hear one, he's got to back out, then come right back in, then he can hear everybody. Weird, huh?
Very.
Goddamn army.
Well, there's a reason why I wrote the lyrics to the one song that I uploaded, and the name of the song is "Watching a Picture Show," because that's literally what we're doing. We're watching a picture show. It was all planned. It was all orchestrated. And you see the banner across the bottom right there, warning, opinions given, and rumors expressed. You've been warned. For those of you that are listening that have never been here before, okay, just so the chat knows I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to whoever's watching. So we give opinions. We talk about rumors. And there's the warning on the bottom. For I am Ghost Bear.
Hail Ghost Bear.
Justin,
Hail Ghost Bear.
Justin, I've really enjoyed
hashtag Chaz.
Justin, I've really enjoyed using the poop emoji for your channel, but I'm afraid I might have to take it away because Stephen Walton is the new king of enemas, and I think I might have to give him that emoji.
Stephen Walton can go fuck himself if he's going to do that. Wait, why is he the king of poop emojis? What happened? Did he like shit himself on stream or something? Like what? Wait, what? There's clearly a story behind this. I'm not trying to. No pun intended. I'm not trying to shit on Steven. He's a good friend of mine. But what happened? Oh God!
You do the enemies, you drop it like it's hot. So apparently, what happened is he was on the stream of Comix Division and Christie, and somebody had typed in the best part of waking up is coffee in your butt, and Christie sang it like the old Folgers commercial. So Steven started screaming no, and then he played it today on his stream. So a bunch of us apparently were thinking like-minded, and we started attacking Steven, saying that he was the enemy king. And his whole stream.
Wait, he was serious about it?
Well, he wasn't.
We were.
He was getting upset about it a little bit. Yeah, he's like, "What the hell's happened to my chat?"
Are you sure to get serious about it then? Well, okay, that's interesting.
It was quite hysterical. I'm actually doing a clip video on it just to make fun of the whole situation.
I look forward to it.
All right, I figured it'd be a
Oh, you got it? Oh, dude. Holy shit, those eyebrows.
Dude, right out the gate, I had 81% of the vote.
Hey, good for you, man. When's Wes gonna get his?
I got mine already.
No, I'm kidding. I
know. Oh, okay.
Can you send me yours, Wes? Because I would actually like to see it.
Justin, you're probably a little bit behind on the times, but I just won mine like earlier this week.
No, I think I saw that. You can send me yours too, because I want to see it. I want to see everyone's. I think there should be a freaking collage.
You know what I thought was weird? I didn't realize at first, number one, that I even got nominated. But Phantom Collective had sent me a DM, and they talked to me about it, and they said, "Oh, well, it's going up sometime on the 10th." And I was just busy doing a bunch of other things, modding for channels and whatnot. So I finally got on and checked, and I seen, oh, well, the poll's already up. Let me click on it. I click on it, and it's at 72% with me ahead.
Dude,
72.
I love hearing the wins. Yeah,
72 is my birth year.
Really?
Really? It was just weird.
The same age as my mom. Actually,
yeah. I have
not to make you feel bad or anything, but like I'm just saying, I think that's funny. The 72. Yeah.
I just thought it was weird that I clicked on it exactly when
she rest in
it was
peace.
my birth year.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, it's all good.
By the way, my mom's not really dead.
Oh, I know.
You saw if anyone saw Shenanigans tonight, yeah, no way. No. But But yeah, this is that's great. I mean, I didn't. I think I might have been grandfathered into the whole trading card thing. I just asked, and I don't think I got a pull. I wasn't tagged in anything, so I think I just got one. And I think a few different people who have been around for some time already got there. So I don't get the whole voting thing. I don't get the whole competition. I guess it's supposed to be in good fun, but sometimes it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it can be.
Hey, Wookiee Supremacy. I'm the same age as
my mom.
Dad.
But yeah, my dad's like a year older. Hey, look at that. What does it say? He talks about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, and vlogs about whatever the heck he wants to. He loves retro gaming. # Lord of the Waterfowl.
Yep.
What's Lord of the Waterfowl?
Oh, I was doing these walks in the parks during the lockdown, and I did an experiment whether or not, because there's all these signs like with the ducks, don't feed the ducks bread, it's bad for them. We feed them lettuce or grapes. And so I brought lettuce and grapes, and the ducks didn't like it. So I was like, what if ducks are like people and they like junk food? So I brought Funyuns and fries, and holy shit, dude. As soon as I busted out the fries, the ducks came from all over the ducks and geese came from all over the park, and like almost started worshiping me like a god. It was weird.
Wait, what kind of?
They were calling on the duck phone, letting everyone know, the good stuff's over here. Come get the Funyuns.
Oh yeah, no, man, they were charging each other and like pecking and doing all this weird shit. And
you said you got French fries though. Where did you get it?
Well, McDonald's, obviously.
Well, yes. All right, I was hoping it was that. So you threw around McDonald's fries. Well, Wookiee Supremacy. My dad was born in '71.
He did tell me to feed them Alka-Seltzer. No, that's that. I know what that does. That's bad. No,
by the way, when my dad's an asshole, he will not hesitate and say like he has said this a few times. He's just like, "Hey Justin," I'm like, "Yeah, Dad." He's like, "I had to tell you something. I fucked your mom last night." I was like, "What? Why would you say that? Why would you say that, Dad?" He's like, "Because I can." And he just says it, whether it's true or not. He will say it just to fuck with me.
Well, I suppose it could be worse. It could be your grandparents telling you that.
Yeah. That would if it's my grandma, one of my grandmas. My grandpa's dead, so I would be very concerned if my grandma had said that. But if from grandparents react to Cecil, oh God, my papa would never do that. He would never do that. He's no.
At least not that you know of, Justin. How do you know he's not a pimp behind them closed doors?
I mean, well, he was no. That was he was a cop, so no. I don't think that would have happened. But anyways, this is we've already gone off the rails here. Not because of me, obviously. No. Warning: opinions given and rumors expressed. It's constant warning the entire.
Well, here's the one that trips me out. Ichibaka actually looks like a Wookiee.
Oh, you've seen him?
His card, yeah. Did you see his card?
I don't think I have.
Oh, his Fandom Collective card. Let me see if I can find that one. He, honest to goodness, I mean, I was expecting a human being, a normal-looking dude, but nope, he's a Wookiee. He actually, honest to goodness, is a Wookiee.
See this?
Yeah. What's that chick?
Over 1,000 trafficked people rescued, including children and pregnant women.
What's the video?
It's Onan. Someone posted the.
Oh, you're not sharing audio?
Recorded Onan video. I didn't share the audio.
Oh, well, the audio would probably help.
This is basically in Spain. 1,000 victims of human trafficking network.
Oh, is it in Spanish then?
So remember they're in Spain. That's where they caught him at.
Well, yeah, but like, would you be able to understand what
It's in English because it's Onan.
Okay.
That's ONA News. And I can read the Spain authorities identify over 1,000 victims of human trafficking network.
But I want to know what that woman is saying.
That's the title written there.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna play their audio.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's totally up to you, but like, hold on.
There's certain things that
Yeah. Also, it doesn't hurt that the reporter is kind of cute. Not gonna lie. But that's not.
Oh yeah, she's definitely cute. That's from OAN News. And keep also they're owned by what is it? I think they're owned by one of the larger corporations, OAN News. OAN. But yeah, so that's a win for the good guys, I'd say. Definitely a win for the good guys. And stuff like that's been ongoing for the last year. Yeah, all the it's funny that the amount of pink elephant cases is also the same amount as the unsealed indictments. Thought that's funny.
Hey, Bear.
Yep.
Do you remember, like, months ago, I was telling you about that Dave Filoni, and I said he was a piece of trash, and I didn't trust him?
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, look where we're at now with him.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen some of the things that he's been saying.
I told everybody. I said he's a piece of trash. Nobody ever believes me.
Well, I knew you were saying it, so I was like, let's wait and see. Let's wait for something to happen to prove this. Yeah. I love to wait and see because we get proof in the pudding that way.
Oh man, I got the collective everywhere, man. The guinea pigs are out. They're collecting information for me. I know what's going on. I know things about things. I know stuff that I guarantee nobody knows about.
I know things about things. Oh, isn't that enlightening?
Things. Yes, it is, Justin. There's actually stuff I can't talk about because I've been promised to keep my mouth shut.
Okay, so you're like John Snow. You know nothing. You just say, "Oh, it's confidential."
Yeah, no. But that's
no. I'm pulling your chain now.
That's cliche, though.
The three of us, Tommy, myself, and Wes. We know some things
that's confidential. Sorry,
going on, and we know some things that are going on, and they're not things that you can just talk about. We can kind of hint at it here and there a little bit, and I can show you news feeds like the one I just showed you, and those are the things that have been being talked about. And so that right there is just basically a proof that the things that Q's dropping is happening.
Well, I think there's a lot of legitimacy towards... Oh, go ahead.
And basically, that's one of many examples of child trafficking being taken care of. Did you also know that when the Queen and Prince Charles, when they sat in their places of their monarchy, they were not dressed in royal garb, whereas the picture last time they were. you know what happens when royalty is defrocked? They're not allowed to wear their royalty garb on the throne. And the one guy that the United States wants to talk to, he's one of royalty. I can't remember, but they want to question him about child trafficking. They want him extradited. They want to bring him here because basically, the NXIVM scandal.
Okay.
Think of all the threads that are being pulled, all the little people that are probably saying this and saying that because they're saving their own neck. Because basically, if you get tried for crimes against humanity and children, basically there's a very good chance there could be a death penalty for those kind of things. And people that are children and pregnant, those are crimes against humanity. Thank you, R.R. Prince Edwards. Yeah, they want to question him. They want to ask him questions. Oh yeah, there's lots of loose threads right now. And you just look at that most recent picture of Prince Charles and the Queen. They're dressed in civilian clothing. They're not dressed like monarchs. It's the little things that most people don't notice. If you know what some of the customs are and some of these things, things are standing right out in the open. Things are being investigated. And that's a good thing. Because I am so for justice being brought for these kids. It's personal. For me, it's personal. And good for them. Shut all these bastards down. Bring justice. Real justice.
Absolutely.
Because there's always been a saying, there's a special place in hell for people that mess with children. I believe it's true. And I'm native, don't believe in hell. But yeah, they're gonna get their comeuppance. It needs to happen. It's gonna happen because a trafficking ring was busted in Australia, and it's happening all over the world. Yeah, in the so yeah, basically put some prayer out there for them kids that are suffering. They need help. Well,
yep.
Did you find that card of Itchy's, Wes?
Oh yeah, I think I've got it here somewhere. Yeah, I watched that Epstein, that Epstein Netflix documentary, and I mean it's whitewashed, but there's a lot of truth in there.
Oh, I sent you a DM, Justin.
Like, why would Bill Clinton deny he was on the island? I saw him there lots of times, and I didn't see anything improper. Haha. Sure.
Tommy, you should go on camera more often, you fucking badass.
I wish I could.
Yeah, Random Brad, I don't believe in hell.
Interest. Transformers, GoBots, comics, old movies, lightsaber collecting, drawing, and playing bass guitar. Ooh, who was your favorite bass player?
Cliff Burton.
Ah, excellent choice.
Metallica.
Well, I don't even need to think about that. He was actually the reason that I switched to bass. Because when I first started playing, when I was playing an instrument, the very first instrument I ever played was a violin.
For whom the bell tolls.
My parents made me go to Sunday school, and I was taught how to play a violin in the Sunday school.
I would have loved to have heard your version of For Whom the Bell Tolls, like the bass part on the violin.
I
imagine you probably learned how to play that, though.
I didn't learn how to play that, obviously, when I was a kid on violin because I wasn't around then. I was about, I want to say I was about 15 or 14 or so when I first heard Metallica, so.
Okay. Different generation.
Well, yeah.
I understand that. I mean, Metallica was not around when you were born, so I get that. Not to make you feel bad or anything, but I'm just like
that don't bother me at all.
I forget that. I forget that sometimes because I do feel like as much as I shit on my generation and everything that's going on, yeah, that's an actual Wookiee.
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's from the Star Wars Holiday Special.
I know. I'm being a smartass. You
asshole. I thought it was actually a picture of his real face, you piece of shit. Why would you ever say that? Why would you tease me? How dare you tease me, Wes? How dare you? You're fired from This Week in Bullshit.
Oh, well, Itchy, my favorite show. It's only one I do consistently.
I know.
Itchy was one of those guys.
I can never fire you.
Itchy was one of those guys I think just got a card and he didn't have to go through a poll or nothing, obviously. So they probably just pulled a picture off of his off of his Twitter or something.
Maybe they did like a Palpatine and they pulled like an action figure picture.
They would have had to have done the actual. They would have had to have gotten the actual action figure, but like I don't know. It would have to have been a third-party company because Kenner Toys did not do anything with
the
holiday special. And if they did, I mean, Lucas would have flipped a fucking shit. So all would have been third-party.
I mean, that's just like...
Wait, Andrew? Is that his name? Ichibaka?
I don't think so. I didn't see it in his... Is it Andrew? I don't know.
I believe it might be.
Oh, Disney Star Wars is dumb. Well,
that's not his name. Wait a minute. Is it Andrew Rodriguez? That's not Ichibaka?
No, that's the artist. That's the artist that worked on the card.
No, I thought the
artist. If you look at no. If you look at my card,
that's a woman. That's a woman who did it.
I thought it was little Miss Vixen.
Yeah.
Miss Vixen
on
is the artist.
On my card, I have Miss Vixen written on mine.
Yeah, I got little Miss Vixen on mine too.
It's not who
they have different artists that actually work on the cards. It's not always the same artist.
Yeah, Little Miss Vixen did mine.
All right.
I think the Fandom Collective DM'd me and she had said like, "Hey, I'm doing this one thing or whatever," and it was in my message request, and I didn't see it. I thought it was just spam. Like, all right, some Indian company is going to sell me something and steal my credit card information, something like that. I had no idea who she was. But then I discovered, like, someone's card. I think it might have been Rookie Critic or something. I was like, or Flipped Out. Flipped Out had something in their avatar. I was like, holy shit, what is this? Like, this is awesome. It's like, oh, yeah, it's like this one
Hey,
lady.
Justin.
And then I like looked her up, and then I saw the DM, and I was like, "Oh wow, I was totally wrong on that." No, I'm hearing you. I'm just trying to finish my thought. I'm trying to finish the story. But then that's how I discovered this whole thing. Yeah, not everyone is trying to like ignore you, man. I'm just, you got to remember, like, I'm just trying to finish my thought and everything. I'm not trying to go on forever, but. I'm
trying to get awarded now for a little bit.
No, I know it's your stream, man. It's your stream, man. I respect you, and yeah.
Now, you notice the crown's not on her head. And you notice that Prince Charles and the Queen are not wearing their garb.
Also, I think he got COVID, didn't he?
Yeah, those that are guilty of getting COVID. Funny coincidence, huh?
Yeah, how is he still alive? Isn't he like 800 years old or something stupid like that?
Well, she's
Why is he
almost
dressed
100.
like? I want to know why he's dressed like Alfred from Batman.
Yeah.
Don't
The
you
point
dare
is-
insult Michael Caine like that.
Start me.
Yes, he's the butler for the Rothschilds.
Anyways, Prince
Now.
he isn't even worthy of being a king. He's not even a real king. You know, fuck him. Nah.
So,
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that.
so you see this one, they're wearing their garb. Now, this is from a year ago or so. This is recent. You notice she's not wearing a crown, and they don't have any garb on. That's because they've been arrested.
Why do you say that?
Do you know anything about the royals? Do you know what they're supposed to wear when they sit in these thrones? You see this here. This is a monarch's throne.
Yeah, you mentioned that, but well,
Now,
and the
throughout
crown's right there.
Shut up and listen, please.
All right.
Now, throughout history, they do not sit on the throne without their garb. Because she's the queen and he's the prince. He's either going to be king or one of his children are going to be king. And these two have been arrested. And yeah, she's not wearing the crown. And if you look out throughout history, they don't sit on the throne wearing nondescript clothing, street clothing. This is what they wear. You know, all royalty, they wear their uniform because they're royals. And the mere fact that in this most recent picture, they're not. It's the little things that most people don't notice that says everything. And they've been arrested. And they're probably going to face charges for the trafficking of children. And why do you think Prince Andrew's wanted? He's wanted in connection with the trafficking of children and a pedophile ring. That's shit, man. The Justice Department want to speak to him. They don't want to speak to him. They want to arrest him, basically, because they probably have witnesses that have said stuff, and it's connected to that one island. The guy with the flights and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'd have to look more deeply into it to find out about all the garb and stuff. I know about Prince Andrew, right? He was the one that the main accuser, the one that was in the documentary. I've never seen that woman before. That was him, right? Went to Epstein's Island.
So,
oh,
basically,
shit, was I not supposed to say it? God damn it!
Pink elephant.
You know what? You know, I'm going to say this about
the
those
rainbow
photos,
camel toe.
The one photo that says the queen will not abdicate her throne, blah blah blah. If you look at that, that's fucking photoshopped. Because nobody that old sits that far out on the edge of a freaking throne like that. There's just no way. Look how far out she's sitting. Her ass is barely even on it.
Are you saying this one's photoshopped? I've seen the actual. This one here has been photoshopped because it's part of a news article.
The one in the top left. The one in the top left. That's she's not really sitting on that. Look at how far out she is from the seat. She is barely even on it. There's no way somebody of her age would be sitting on a chair like that. I don't think that's a legit photo.
No, that's legitimate.
I don't think so. I do a lot of that Photoshop stuff, and that looks like Photoshop.
That's from the Express.uk. That's from an article. Yeah, that's real. Now, here's I can throw a little bit of something in that. Basically, you remember when the Pope spoke and he walked away from the window, then all of a sudden disappeared? Remember that?
I don't remember which Pope.
The current one right now. It happened a few months ago, like a month back or something like that. He, the window he normally comes to, and well, when he came to it and did his thing, and when he turned around and left, he just disappeared.
Yeah,
and several people have gone over it and went by it frame by frame by frame. One frame is there, one frame gone. Yeah, R remembers that. That wasn't that long ago. Well, if they can create holograms like that, they can create holograms that didn't shares. Because from everything that I've been told, all these pedos have basically, the rumor that I hear, they've been tried and put to death. That's the rumor I hear. And so, do you ever hear a thing that doubles? They all have doubles. All these people have doubles. Mm-hmm. And they all got doubles.
Oh. Okay, just looks like Justin's got to go here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I do have to get going, but have a good stream, man.
All right, brother, man.
All right,
Justin,
night,
take care, buddy.
I'm sorry if I seemed a little rude. I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to participate
you're
in
right,
the conversation. That's all.
You're right, man.
Justin,
right.
You have a good one. Good.
Yeah,
have a
If I
good
say
guys.
something like that, I normally just say it once, and then
Yeah,
I move on.
Yeah, I got you. All
Personal.
right, bye.
All right, man. You have a good one. So yeah, so these people are probably doubles that we're seeing. Who knows? A lot of crazy stuff going on out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't doubt that that they have doubles, but I would really have to dig deep into it. I don't want to get. I mean, some of this stuff is already pretty hard for people to swallow, and you really need to have a lot of evidence to stack up to even start red pilling people, and you don't want to
basically just look at facts. How the royals are supposed to be when they sit down on those thrones. That's a throne they're sitting on. And you look at the protocols, they have strict protocols. They're not in protocol right now. They never sit on that throne without their garb.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
I'd have to dig deeper. I know they do have strict protocols, but they had protocols about not divorcing either and stuff like that, and they've changed those. So I'll have to dig deeper into it. But
you see those things there, I follow the story on that, and it took years to get that protocol changed. This is overnight, man. Mm-hmm. This is overnight. They've never sat on that without their garb.
And I mean, as far as conspiracy on the royal family, I mean, Diana's death, there's a lot of weird stuff happening there.
Well, I just found something recently. Yeah, I don't doubt that.
I think I've seen the Hillary double. The Hillary double looks better than the real Hillary, and that's how you can tell.
You know who the best double is? AOC's double, mini AOC. Have you guys never seen mini AOC?
Yeah. I gotta tell you, man. My grandmother warned me about women like AOC, and I brought a girl around that was a lot like her, and my grandmother did not like her at all. It not for you, mija. Mm-mm. That's all she was to say. And that's when she left the room. We used the bathroom, then came back. And my grandma, when she left the room, was like, nah, mija, not for you. And so at that point, she was done. Done. Yeah. So yeah, I killed that right there. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff, man. A lot of crazy shit. And the crazy shit created the pink elephant for sure. You know, it's like watching a picture show. And you know, you just gotta sit back, man. It's like I feel like I'm watching a movie unfold. I feel like we're at that plot where the enemy reveals itself.
Oh, what was that one movie with Dave, where the president had the double?
I think it was called Dave, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, I think Dave was the name of the movie. Yeah, Bill Pullman. No, wait, that wasn't Bill Pullman. It was Bill Pullman was Independence Day. Yeah, I don't remember that.
So
Kevin Kline. Kevin Kline, is that who it was?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Obviously Mel Brooks spoofed that whole mentality when he did History of the World Part 1. And he had the guy who was Jesus, what was that guy's name? The King Louis. King Louis the what was that, the 8th? King Louis the 8th, I think.
As I recall, there were some tits involved in that. Cleavage. Yeah. I remember that movie. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. RR said it was Kevin Kline.
Ah, okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Dave.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Funny guy. So yeah, well, that he hadn't quite seen, so there's no point in laying down bets on who's going to be left in Hollywood. But yeah, at this point, they pretty much all proven they're all pretty toxic.
Yep.
Yep.
Piss boy.
Good to be the king.
It's good to be the king.
These 10 commandments. No, oh, wait, that was the 10 commandments. Wait.
No, yeah, I have these 15
commandments.
Blash. 10 commandments for all to obey.
Yep.
Oh, I had so much fun doing that video, even though it took me like shit. It took me like 2.5 days to do that video.
Weren't you working on the editing process for 24 hours or something like that?
Yeah. The editing process alone was 24 hours.
Oh,
and
editing.
then it took, oh God, how many hours? It took over 16 or 15. No, it was about 15. It was almost 15 hours it took for me to upload it. Pretty disgusting.
Yeah, man, the editing is like the worst part of doing YouTube videos. It's the part I really don't like.
Well, you know what? I do this to myself, Wes. I try to put more than I probably should have to in some of the videos, and I try to go over the top every time. And I add so many different elements because I just, this would be cool to add. And then, I want to add that extra, and I want to add that extra, and I keep adding shit, and the next thing you know, I've got this jumble of freaking pictures and video clips and everything else sitting on my film editor that I'm trying to sort out. Now I got to sit there and drag all the pieces up and down the screen to put them in place. I create my own nightmare with it.
I tried to edit one video the way Philip DeFranco edits his with no pauses or anything, and I was like, fuck that. So there's probably only one video where I keep talking like this, and there's no pauses, and it keeps going, and I was like, first of all, it's not really my style, and second of all, what a pain in the ass.
Well, I look at it this way. You know, I don't know about you, but anytime I ever make a video, I am never completely happy with it. Never.
I'm never completely happy with them either.
And but I try to find that balance where I think it's not bad. That if I can get to the point where I think it's not bad, then that's when I go with it.
Yeah, that's probably a good rule to have. Don't sacrifice the great for the good, or don't sacrifice the good for the whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. He who waits.
Thanks, Random Brad.
He who waits for perfection will wait in eternity, I think is what the saying goes.
All right. Wookie just sent me something.
Okay. I hear you, Wookie. I hear you.
All right, who you think that is? Actually, don't say her name. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Funny, she don't look dead to me.
Could be Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Nope. It's not. I just heard her voice. Sound like her. She noticed the camera and stepped off camera. Basically, she knew a lot, so it kind of makes sense that she'd fake her death. She was coming. You know?
Wookie wants you to listen to it.
Oh.
I did listen to it. It sounded like her. What did you think, Wookie? I don't want to play the sound.
Send me some of this stuff, Wookie. I'm not getting any of this.
I did hear her. And it looked like a lot of familiar faces were there that may have known her as well. Yeah.
Oh, man, if we find out Johnny Carson is alive.
Never know, man. Because,
come back, Johnny.
You know, stuff like this, you always hear about it, but you don't actually get any proof. This looks like proof.
Well, who's that dude she's clinging on to?
Good question. Joe Schumann, silver.
All right. Okay, I just got it.
Yeah, it looks like Joe Schumann. Yeah. Asleep No More. I've heard of them. I think I've watched one of their videos once before. Yeah. Good find.
Clive Davis?
You talking about 9/11, Wookie? I remember that bullshit when they tried to say that one plane that went down in Pennsylvania was supposed to be a big ass Boeing. That was not no damn Boeing. There was not enough pieces laying around. There was not enough pieces laying around.
Pentagon?
No, the one that landed outside of shit, what the hell was that small town in Pennsylvania?
Oh, in Pennsylvania, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that there wasn't enough I think one of my friends went and did the disaster recovery on that site. They hire people to walk in grids. He was one of the people that they hired. Yeah, craziness. That's a very good find.
Well, I find what's ironic is that the people that everybody says is JFK Jr. was there too.
Where? In this video?
Yeah. You don't see him, the guy in the hat?
Oh, no shit. Vincent?
Yeah. Oh, wait, never mind. I don't think that's him. Now that I'm looking at it.
Good catch. I don't think that is him. But yeah, he does wear a hat like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty close. Yeah. Looks like one of the Golden Girls. Yeah, it does look like him a little bit, don't it? It looks familiar, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
She looks like one of the Golden Girls, don't she?
Which one?
Her.
I mean, which Golden Girl?
Oh, I don't remember.
The old one?
Like that.
I mean, the oldest one?
Not White. What's her name? Is her last name White?
There's Betty White. There's
Betty
Estelle Getty. I think Estelle Getty would be the one that would be closest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
We'll have to dig into this
I don't.
after we're off air.
Yeah.
So that's
starting
5
to
minutes.
fade myself here. I think probably we should.
Going on close to 3 hours.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good amount for a stream. My brain's starting to get fried, so
Yeah, same here.
I might start.
And,
not
the one
seeing
time
things
Tommy's
clearly.
internet is cooperating.
Oh yeah, well get this shit. Believe it or not, I bitched out the company again. Like I said I was going to do. I've been calling up, harassing them. I checked my speeds today. My speeds were actually the fastest that they've been in over 6 months.
Wow.
I actually now that being the fastest speeds ever are still going to sound incredibly low to most people. I had 3.6. I think it was like 3.65 or something like that megabytes per second, which is 10 times faster than what I normally would get. Because normally I'm getting under 1 megabyte per second, and that's just the download. That's not upload. That's download.
Jeez. Well, you can.
But
You know,
the
you can,
author, who is that?
that's one of the Golden Girls. that's the really tall lesbianic one. The one that sounds like a man, talks like this.
The one that plays
Oh,
Maud.
Rose. Yeah, Maud.
Rose. Maud. Are you joking, or are you just being funny?
She could be the Antichrist.
Interesting. Well, so as soon as we take the 3 hour mark in 10 seconds, we'll Maud, hell of a name. Now, any woman that you meet that's got the name Maud, you know she's tough.
Right.
Yeah. Versatility and vitality.
I liked All in the Family. All in the Family was good. Might have been my grandparents.
Let's see here. Share screen. Chrome tab.
Wookiee's telling you that's a joke.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, scientists detect unexpected widespread structures near Earth's core. That's kind of weird, right? So, the University of Maryland geophysicists analyzed thousands of recordings of seismic waves, sound waves, traveling through the Earth to identify echoes from the boundary between Earth's molten core and the solid mantle layer above it. The echoes revealed more widespread. A little help here. That's a tongue-twisting word. Heterogeneous. That's a man. How do you say that word? I don't get stumped very often.
Where are you?
Heterogeneous.
Heterogeneous. That's it.
Heterogeneous. There we go. Wow. Heterogeneous structures, areas of unusually dense. Why didn't they just say it was unusually dense?
Because they spend a lot of money to get an education to be able to use that word. That's why.
Yeah, apparently. Learn how to use that word cost them a few $1,000s. Core mantle boundary than previously known. Scientists are unsure of the composition of these structures, and previous studies have provided only a limited view of them. Better understanding their shape and context can help reveal the geologic processes happening deep inside Earth. The knowledge may provide clues as to the workings of the plate tectonics evolution of our planet. Well, that is just freaking awesome. By the way, those of you that don't know what P waves are, basically, when the waves hit the mantle and then when they bounce back off of the mantle, I believe on the Richter scale, when it's tracking the earthquake, the P wave is when the earthquake energy bounces off the inner parts of the planet. And I think that's what creates the P wave. And that's how you can basically tell what a real earthquake is and what a bomb underneath the ground going off is. Pretty much. And all these earthquakes that have been going off all over the country and around the world, there's been no P waves associated with those earthquakes.
I thought we were going to end on the lightning DeLorean.
Oh, man. Yeah. Why don't you screen share that, Wes? I lost track of it.
Oh, man, I lost track, too. You're making me do this while I'm half asleep? What the crap?
Hey, Wes, just get yourself a nice cup of Stephen Walton's special blend of dark roasted enema, and you'll be fine.
Do I have to use it as an enema?
I'm afraid so.
Oh man. Fuck. Well, at least I won't have bad coffee breath.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do a disservice to the King of Simps.
God dang it! Where the hell is it? Is it in the Four Horsemen or is it in the conspiracy chat?
Oh man, I've been doing so much stuff. I forgot where I put it.
That's what she said.
Damn it!
Oh, I thought that was. I thought Bob Dylan was. I thought Bob Dylan was Keith Richards for a second there.
Oh Jesus!
It looks a lot like him now. Now he does. God dang it! Can't find it. The fuck.
Oh.
But while you're looking for that, did you also see that they were the next thing they're talking about they're going to cancel is the Dukes of Hazzard too?
Well, I think they've already canceled the Rebel Flag on a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, well, they said they're canceling the show too. They're making sure that it ain't going to be showed anywhere.
Yep.
I'm glad I got some of that stuff on DVD. You know,
it's like if you
They're
never see the Rebel Flag, you will never know the contrast of history and the different symbolisms and nuances. Therefore, you will never learn from anything, and you'll play right into our hands, huddled masses. Wait, what do they call us? Useless eaters? I fucking know.
Yeah, freaking Iggy Pop, right, Woogie? Oh, man. Iggy Pop. I thought that guy was like 25 years ago. I thought he was like 90 then.
Well, yeah, he keeps cutting himself on stage, so he's all scarred up.
He just looks like Jack Skellington on stage. I mean, seriously. I think he was a big heroin addict, wasn't he?
Yeah, I guess he and Bowie both went in on that stuff a lot. Well, I found it. I didn't find it where you sent it, but I found it somewhere.
Well, send it to me when you get a chance.
All right, I'm going to share it now. Hold on. See, it doesn't have the caption, but like the meme. But here, our audience can't be denied this. This was too cool.
Hey, Stephen Ernest, just noticed you were there. How you doing, man? Popped in on us there.
Who?
Stephen Ernest.
Oh, okay. Hail, Stephen Ernest. I thought you were making fun of Stephen Walton again.
No.
We Simp or
hold on, I'm sharing
King
the
of
wrong
Enemas
one
would have been thrown in there.
Share. I was sharing the wrong one. Okay, yeah. There we go. $1.22 gigawatts. I mean gigawatts.
Boy, that was a jiggling car there, I'm telling you.
Yep. All we need is a bolt of lightning. I don't know.
I did see the Southern statue fall on that rioter. Yes, I did see that. Yep. Hey, Stephen Ernest, how you doing, man?
Well, did you hear about the one where they were defacing? What was it? It was a Michigan, a Civil War statue from a Michigan brigade that actually was first like black regimental brigade. They defaced one of those statues. Yep. I mean, they don't care what they're defacing. They just want to go out there and destroy shit. And pretty much you got these crazy fucking mayors and everything else that are just giving them the okay to do whatever they want.
Evidently, they don't want to get voted back into office.
Yep.
Basically.
So what do we think, folks? Bolt of lightning or LS swap gone wrong?
Bolt of lightning or a dew weapon? Or both? Yeah.
Yep. You know,
man, I wonder if they were in that vehicle when that happened.
It was in hover mode, and they were flying around Alaska, and Harp got him.
No, I think you're both wrong on this one. What I think happened is I think Stephen Walton was in that car because the ass end is gone.
The coffee got to it. Yeah. It all makes sense now.
Yeah, they damaged the Lincoln Memorial too. Yes.
Not good to laugh when you have cigarette smoke in your lungs.
Yeah, I always thought defacing government statues or monuments was supposed to be illegal.
Yeah, it's a felony. Defacing state or federal property. It's a felony. Oh, but you know, all those rioters that damaged property, guess what? They were let out again the next day.
Mm-hmm. And I heard about that. I heard there were certain mayors were just letting them out and Yeah, they're just condoning that shit.
Well, in this case, one of them was a prosecutor. I forget her name. A prosecutor in Minneapolis. Yeah. So basically, there are going to be whole swaths of local governments, mayors, governorships. Bye-bye. Say goodbye to your career. Yep. Those that don't like the step on people's freedoms, governors and mayors, bye-bye.
You know, what we're really looking at right now with this nonsense going on, and if it's allowed to continue to fester and to continue on, we're actually looking at a Star Wars scenario, really, because you're looking at a point where executive orders for power may have to be invoked.
That is very, very true possibility. Basically, they want the president to do certain things, and I think he's fully aware of what they want him to do. And you'd have to be insane to do what they want you to do. That's basically, you're basically, why give them fireballs to throw at you if they're going to throw fireballs at you? Don't give them fireballs to throw at you. You know, you wouldn't give them in a, say it's a gunfight. It's like, here's some ammunition. Here, have my ammunition. You're not going to do that. Same thing. And so things are going to get bad, and but basically they're going to make, the governors are going to act because they can't resist it. Help them. So they're going to be the ones that are going to do all this stuff. They're going to be after all, it's states, and you got to let states make up their own decisions.
Hey, Random Brad, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Random Brad. I ain't gonna fall for no banana in my tailpipe. All right.
No, potatoes work better.
Also, could be could be a trip to
tailpipe?
Alberto's Burritos gone wrong too. That's always a possibility.
Or a little bit of too much sauce. Said Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, yeah, that could be it for sure. Alrighty, seems like a good place to wrap it up.
The in there, man. I'm just telling you, jeez. Gotta wonder if someone was in that vehicle when that happened. Yeah. Yep. So let's see here. There's this and this. Let me find a little something to find something here. Yeah, let's see, open that. I think this will do. That one? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, damn, why are you doing that? There you are. All right, I think I got something. All right. Okay. So, Wes, before we cue the music, go ahead and tell them where you found.
You cut out there. Am I plugging my channel?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
Do you hear me?
With an enema.
Oh, all right. I'm Wes Moody, the Wes Moody Webcast. I talk about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it's my webcast. You may find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast and on patreon.com/Wes Moody Webcast. We've just introduced the Illuminati tax write-off $10,000 a month tier. For that, you get everything in the previous tiers, and I haven't figured it out yet. A tax write-off. That's what it is. See you there.
And I will put your link in the chat.
Send me money. Send me money. Send me money. Send me money. Send me money.
Yes, stroke of genius, isn't it?
Whenever I hear that spiel, I think I better call Saul. All right, let's see here. Got stream brain going on. Okay.
Oh, God, me too.
All right. A little bit of something. Y'all hear that?
Yep.
night. Have a good one. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you next time.
And remember, no matter where you go, there you are. And send me money.
And here we go.
Send him money.
Send him money.
Send him money.
Send him money. Send him money. Yay!
Remember, your silence gives consent.
Don't be silent.
Not kneel.
Yeah, as Gary says all the time, we do not kneel. He said it best. Hail to the Phantom Menace. Hail to you. Hail to the chat. And don't kneel. Don't kneel. Yeah. Don't kneel.
Yeah.
Stand up. Stand up for your rights. And good night. Good night. And good night. Hail to you.